Okay. Good morning. Today is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Selectmen. It is Tuesday, September 16th at 8:33 a.m. You have in front of you this morning's agenda. If I could get a motion to approve today's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. And then you have the minutes of our regularly scheduled meeting on August 19th, 2025. Do you have any additions or corrections?
None here.
No.
Okay, if I could get a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Public comments. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments to the Board of Selectmen on agenda topics scheduled for review and or vote. Comments submitted electronically should be sent to the following email address, bosdistribution@newcanaanct.gov. Do I have anyone wishing to address the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to parking department contracts with Stacy. Good morning. Oh, wait, before, I don't know if it was noted. So before Stacy presents, we were just notified that Stacy, after 22 years and 3, I knew it was, I was in the 20s, will be retiring as of February 28th.
Wow.
So it's a big loss for us.
Say it isn't so.
I know. So we're very sad to see you go, but we got you for a few more months. And we've got lots of big projects ahead. We're going to make you go out on. Yeah. So anyway. Okay. All right.
Stacey, Mike's got to get turned on there. Sorry.
The parking department is requesting approval to enter into 2 contracts, one with Passport Labs and one with Park Mobile. These 2 contracts are for the addition of 2 new mobile apps for the town to use as payment for parking. Passport Labs is currently our ticket, permit, and enforcement software provider. So they have an app also with that company. And Park Mobile has been acquired by our pay machine company, which is Flowbird Arrive. So Park Mobile is probably a known app to many people, but they were also just acquired over the last year or so by our pay machine company. So we are requesting the approval to enter into these 2 contracts so that we can add these 2 apps as another addition to our current pay by phone app for mobile parking.
And just so you both know, I'd gotten an email from a resident and look after the last newsletter and saying, why don't you have Park Mobile? Because right now we have pay by phone. Why don't you have Park Mobile? Most people have Park Mobile. And I'm like, believe it or not, we're hoping to have it very soon. Just we need to get the contract figured out. So
Yeah, because is it Norwalk and Stanford are both on Park Mobile? Or?
Yes. Well, I know Norwalk is. I can't speak for Stanford, but I do know Norwalk is.
So between we'll have 3 apps with this approval to be.
So that gives the consumer a choice between what app they want to use and how they want.
So now they don't have to come in town and say, oh, how do I pay for my, oh, now I have to download this app because this is the only app. These are the 3 major players.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of municipalities and towns are going to, like a multiple app type of atmosphere, I guess, where people can come into town and use whatever app that they have.
That's great. I mean, you really want it. Obviously, we want it as easy as possible for
Yep,
people to
absolutely
get on there
absolutely.
and go.
Stacey, can I ask a question on
Sure.
the fees? So I'm looking, and you have to pay to use it for, for 30 cents. But for instance, the parking ticket revenue collected on tickets paid. Does that mean if tickets paid, 12% of what we bring in goes to them, or is there a 12% surcharge?
Yes, so we're talking about Passport now.
Yep.
So also included in this contract is we had to renew our ticketing permitting usage.
Right.
Okay, so they put it all together in this. So basically we pay 12% of all the ticket revenue that we collect to Passport for the use of their software program and enforcement program.
Okay.
So yes, but that has been consistent with what we have been paying, oh God, probably for at least 10 years, because they took over our previous company, which was called Complus.
Okay, so we've always paid.
We
a
have
percentage.
always
Okay.
paid, yes, yes. This is not something that is different or changing or anything.
All right, thank you.
It was just added into this contract because of the app that we're implementing.
And part of the charges here, as you go through it, per transaction under that first contract is a 30-cent charge per transaction. So can you speak to that? Is that
Sure.
so? Every
So-
time someone uses it just to start with, there's a 30-cent.
Correct.
Yeah.
So every time somebody uses the app, and again, we're talking about Passport, you see Park Mobile is a different convenience fee. So again, it's the user's choice on which one they want to use. But Passport will charge the consumer 30 cents per transaction. Park Mobile charges 40 cents per transaction. Currently, Pay by Phone does 30 cents per transaction, but Pay by Phone, in addition, will charge the user, if they have signed up for it, a cost for alerts or email reminders, things like that. It's 20 cents, which these other two companies do not charge for that. So again, it's the user's choice. And so they have a lot of different choices to make.
So when you get a notice that, oh, you're about to run off, would you like to extend? Is that another transaction
Currently,
fee,
for
or is it included?
currently for our current provider, yes, yes. And again, it is not automatic. The user will sign up for those alerts if they want. So they don't have to get them.
Right.
You know, and they don't have to get charged those 20 cents.
Okay.
But if they want that, it is addition. The other two companies do not charge that.
Can you speak to the Park Street lot where we're flipping it, so the Park Street lot is going to be free, basically. So when someone pulls in that Park Street lot and parks, are we monitoring the length of stay there?
Yes, we have to. So yes, we will go
They're
through.
registering their space regardless, right?
No.
Or not. So
No.
they're going to park.
They're going to
but
park.
they're
We're going to be going
responsible.
through as the officer, okay? And they're going to be responsible, just like we do on the streets. It's
Like Elm
time.
Street. It's just
Yeah.
basically the same.
We're just
enforcement
flipping
of
it. It's
Elm
the same way it's
Street is now
patrolled.
being put on.
Correct. And
Park
it's
Street.
literally just flipping.
Yep.
just flipping the way we patrol, just flipping where the free parking is and extending it for the hour.
Yeah, that's really the
For
easiest way to
3 hours.
explain it, because if it's just thinking about, hey, I used to park on Elm Street, now I'm parking on Park Street.
Correct.
Yeah. How long can someone park?
3 hours,
street?
and then they have
Up
to
from
leave
2.
out of the lot for at least an hour before they can repark.
Do you have to be out of the lot or out of their space?
Out of the lot. Just like it works on Elm Street. Elm Street, after 2 hours, you need to move
Trust me,
off
they
of
do.
Elm Street. Yeah.
And this is a question I'll ask Tiger when he gets up here, but we're about to rip apart one of the biggest arteries to get there. So we're gonna have to figure out, how to, we're putting this in sort of at the same time as we're doing the ramps and everything. So we'll have to
Yeah.
make sure people understand how we're gonna get in and out of there, but we'll ask Tiger the hard questions when he comes up. So when do you picture this all going into play here?
Well, good news is I just got an email that our machines are being delivered either today or tomorrow. I have a tracking number, so I didn't get a chance to look exactly before running up here. So once we take possession of the machines, and they're going to start, right now, they're going to put out a request for the installations. We're hoping, again, end of September. Right, we're looking, so hopefully I'm pushing the installation. I am pushing to make sure everything changes over to pay by plate. We want to do it all together. Just to let everyone know, our current mobile app is a little ahead of us because we wanted to start that. So in the lot slowly, we're turning over to pay by plate. So a lot of people using the Pay by Phone mobile app right now will start noticing it's going to request a plate number instead of a space number. So they're a little ahead of us. They told us it was going to take a little longer than expected. So in a sense, it's good. In a sense, it's a little difficult, but we'll manage. So that's slowly changing over. So fingers crossed, end of September. we'll get everything up and running and, get it all started and
And the pads for the machine should be ready by the end of this week. So there've been about 4 installed, or the pads are in, they have to clean up the bricks around it, and then they'll go and do the remaining 5, and then clean up the bricks around it as well. So, so the pads should be ready, and then for the machines, and Flowbird will come in and
install the machines, and then they're gonna upgrade the current machines again to that pay-by-plate system, because everything is gonna go to a pay-by-plate system.
even
You
tell
don't have to go to
Michelle.
machines if you have that.
Right, if you have the app, you do not need to go to the machines.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
that will help
that will help too.
everyone.
And again, the choice of apps, people don't have to start worrying about like, okay, now I have to stand here and download an app and, the whole thing.
Yeah,
So
that's great. I
I
mean,
think most people have one on their phone.
So, okay.
any way to talk you into like wait until next September?
I didn't hear that, so,
Any way to talk you into staying for another year?
um,
A lot of changes going on these days.
I know, I know.
Well, congratulations and thank you for everything you've done
Thank
over
you
the
so
years.
much.
I mean, it's been
Yeah,
a
we've
pleasure
known each
working with
other.
you.
We've been,
We've been
working for
working together
quite a
a
while.
long time. a
Yes,
long time.
yes.
That's where I started.
Oh,
so,
that's right. I remember
Yeah,
you were out.
yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Any
Stace.
other questions? If not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the parking manager to enter into contracts with Passport Labs, Inc. and Park Mobile for the use of software programs for parking enforcement operations.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank you, Stacy.
And thank you, Stacy. I just want to also, in addition to being sad she's leaving in February, thanks Stacy for all her really hard work. This is a big project. It's a huge transition, and she has been a happy warrior on that. So I appreciate it.
So much, and we will make it happen.
Or at least worry.
Yeah. We all think she's a happy warrior. All right, fire department apparatus, Albie. Sorry, Chief Bassett.
That's fine. Good morning, all.
Morning.
The fire department would like to request the PO for the Marion Body Works, Marion, Wisconsin, for $1,200,000 for the purchase of our contracted fire apparatus. The original contract was signed on May 21st, 2024, and it's the FY 24 bonded money is where it's coming from. So they're getting ready. Chassis is in motion.
So is it made? Is it-
No, it's just the actual chassis that they're going to build on is ready to go. So that's getting the PO now, and hopefully a year. They have till the fall of 26 to deliver it. So
Is this the whole cost or is there other cost? Is this,
this should be,
okay, because sometimes you buy one piecemeal. I just wanna
no,
make sure.
this is the whole apparatus, unless there's down the road if we need more hose or tools.
Do we have to pay it all a year in advance?
Nope, by recommendation of finance, Ann told me to put the whole amount on the PO because it should hold till next year. And if it comes in early, then we'll have it for this year. So
All right, so
right now I just have to pay for the chassis.
so is it like a 50%?
Yeah,
down?
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
So we're gonna pay about half of this now and
paying about half, yeah.
we're
it's-
approving on.
I
Right.
think it's gonna come in about 509,000, somewhere around there, 511.
Okay.
But the chassis is gonna come in it.
Yeah, and this is the truck that we've all looked at it. We've talked about the specs, so we've gone through it. This is just a formality. Where, a lot of people tune in for the first time. Oh my gosh, you're spending $1.2 million. You guys didn't even talk about it. Well,
Oh, no, it's,
we've talked about this for a long time. So it's you guys have already been out there and you've had a team that's looked at the specs and talked to the folks out there.
absolutely. So the specs were done. The pre-built conference was done via Zoom. So we didn't actually go to Marion. So we'll travel out once the body starts getting worked on and then for final inspection. But yeah, the specs are done. The changes were done, continual changes as it's being designed, but yeah, it's in the process.
And how often do they contact you and say, hey, we're here in the process? Or do you have to reach out to them?
Not enough. We reach out to them, to be honest with you. Yeah, to see where they are.
Well,
Like we didn't know the chassis was even getting ready to roll, so So they didn't give us a heads up, but the chassis really, there isn't a lot of change on that. So it's more the body once it starts getting built on. That's when we'll really be more involved.
Well, when this finally gets delivered, we should have every little kid in town come and watch this, because there are a lot of little kids. They'd be so excited to see this.
Yeah, usually when they get a new truck, they offer like a little ride, like an inspection or ride along for everybody.
Yep, the wet down.
Come down, and check it out.
Nothing like a big truck for a little kid.
All right.
All right. If there are no further questions, if I could get a motion to approve a request, purchase order with Marion Body Works in the amount of $1.2 million for the purchase of the contracted fire apparatus pumper.
So
engine
moved.
two.
So moved.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Labonati, the Bard at Bristow.
I thought that was a typo, Ed. I thought it was supposed to be say the bird at Bristow.
Well, there's a few of those too. Thank you for having me come before you. The Summer Theater of New Canaan, in association with the New Canaan Land Trust, the Conservancy, and part of the October for Design Month in New Canaan, plans to present an immersive walk through Bristow Bird Park, the sanctuary. And that involves a 45-minute walk, gentle walk through the more or less ADA, or let's say easily accessible paths. And along the way, they will come across various scenes of Shakespeare, madrigal singing, sonnets, sword fights, switches, highlights of all the Macbeth, classics. And it'll be every 15 or 20 minutes. A new group of about 15 people will be guided along and with a costume guide, and who will just stumble upon all of these happenings as if it's part of the Enchanted Woods. So we're very excited about that. And we moved it from Saturday to Sunday to simplify the entire process. So there's not a lot of competition for the park at that time. And this is kind of an experiment, although not that much of an experiment, because we've done outdoor Shakespeare here in town for several years before that. So we're excited to do this, and we're here for your blessing, I guess.
So I feel like I've listened to this presentation a few times online. So I think it's a great opportunity for the park. But I think just so that for those people who haven't tuned into your other presentations, can you talk a little bit about your thoughts about parking at the park on that Sunday? How much, you think you have enough parking? Because I think the thought is you're going to enter through Mead Park. So, if you could just talk about that.
Some of the details in order to make this go very smoothly, quote, is parking is easily accessible where it is. It's the back end of Mead Park near the Apple Cart, cafe. There's a little path that people will walk to, very easily accessible. And down by the bleachers and stuff, people will gather. And at that point, a group will assemble of 15 people. They'll be escorted in. We hope to have the park closed for those 4 or 5 hours. And it's not a question of we don't want people in there, is that it's used occasionally. It's not heavily used, okay? And especially during the day, less so, with dogs. And if we have groups of 15 and we have 1.3 or 4 of those groups in there, and we have sword fights going on, heckling or noises, whatever, we feel would be it would agitate any animal, that kind of thing. So we feel for everyone's comfort and, and a sense of security, it would be good to have it for that short period of time. That's pretty much, did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
And special events will be tomorrow.
Okay. So it's on, it said rain day, it said Saturday and rain date Sunday, but it's going to be just Sunday.
It's just going to just be Sunday. It will not be a rain date. It's a compromise we're making at this point.
Okay.
In which case, people have tickets, any funds exchanged, it would become a donation.
Okay. And what are the ticket prices?
Right now, we're looking at a $25 to $30 range. And then it's also a pay what you will, above that if you want.
Okay.
Any possible tie-ins with the schools for any sort of?
Yes, we have the New Canaan High School. We'll have, we believe, 4 madrigals that will be costuming. We have an exceptional costume designer. We have it's a very, very strong creative team. And the actors are international, national, and regional, and actually local too. All professional. It should be quite an experience. I hope you all can make it.
When do you envision, once you're approved, when do you envision like ticket sales for it going live?
We hope to go live to the public.
Right after tomorrow, we get the approval of special events. which is
That's at what time?
good to go.
9 o'clock?
10 o'clock tomorrow.
10
So you're
o'clock
ready to
tomorrow.
go.
Yeah,
Is
we've
what-
been ready to go since the middle of August,
Oh,
but
that's great.
due to the compliance,
Yes,
we
yes,
started a
I
little
know.
late.
Yep.
By the time we decided to pull the trigger on this.
Yep.
So we've learned again another lesson. One of my goals, working with the summer theater and with the town is, and to bring theater to this community is to make 100 less mistakes each year. So after 22 years, I'm starting to narrow that down just a little bit, guys, right? Just a little, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazingly fast turnaround for something like this.
Well,
Yeah.
it's very,
So-
I mean, so creative and interesting and exciting. I mean, I think it's a great, and now I'm praying for good weather for
Yes,
you.
yeah.
I
This,
put it on my calendar.
Yeah.
There you go. Put it on your calendar, everybody.
the spreadsheet for the rehearsal schedule, because we have all these multiple things happening all around the place and fittings, all within a two and a half day period. The spreadsheet's like this. So
Yeah.
it's a challenge.
Okay.
All right.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I know, it's
It's pretty
very, that, one of the amazing parts of this community. There's always
Thank
things that
you.
are changing and, have you picked, is it multiple Shakespearean things, not just one that you're gonna
Yes,
take?
I mean, you'll
vignettes
meet,
from?
without giving too much away, you'll meet Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream. You'll
Yep.
see Macbeth.
Okay.
And the witches, and I mean, it's on Romeo and Juliet. I mean,
Oh, great.
it's going to be quite
No,
remarkable.
it's very cool. All right.
Great idea.
If there's no further questions, if I could get a motion to approve a request as approved by the Conservation and Parks and Recreation Commissions to close Bristow Park Sanctuary from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on October 5th, 2025 for a program called The Bard at Bristow, Shakespeare in the Sanctuary, presented by the Summer Theater of New Canaan in partnership with the New Canaan Land Trust and to be included in the October for Design program.
We 10 to 4.
Oh, 10 to
Say-
4.
I'm sorry, that was.
Is that what, is
It's
that
just to
what,
be able to clean up and get everyone out.
I just want to make sure that that was what was approved by the other, by the
Park and Rec
other,
it was, yes.
by Parks and Rec, it was, those were the times? Okay. So it is contingent on their approval, so as long as they approved it, for those hours, then I will say, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on October 5th.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you
Thank you.
and good luck.
Thank you very much.
I'll put it on my calendar.
Gotta bring down my big tome, my Shakespeare tome.
Okay. Good morning. Hmm.
Guys always are bringing us some good news.
Mother, you know,
Yeah, yes, unfortunately, we are here because we had to replace the variable frequency drive, which controls the pump for the Mead Park irrigation. So it happened to be at a time when there wasn't a selectmen's meeting and everything. And if we didn't do this right away, we would have been in a position to close the tennis courts because they need water every single night. And this was back on August 27th. So, so we're looking to approval to pay a bill for Foley's Pump Service, who originally installed the well, in the amount of $11,020 to replace the controller, which is in and it's up and working. Everything's good. We have money in our operating budget to take care of this.
And John did bring it to me, so I was aware of an emergency.
how old
repair.
is it? The one that kaput?
We believe about 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're with the rest of the well itself, we're going to be doing some investigation on the pipes that the pump sits on. It sits down in the water. And we don't have to do anything right now, but we want to make sure everything's good. So we might be putting something like that into the capital budget. This
Okay.
upcoming one.
How many courts does that do? Is it?
Does all 8 of the clay courts. And unfortunately, with installing the new irrigation system down there, which is done, and just being summertime, losing water for the week we lost it was really a problem. So we've got the courts up and running. We're in a good place now, but we weren't then.
Ready.
A lot to take care of and you gotta
Yeah.
take care of it.
You know, things, we all own homes.
Yep, things break.
Things break. We have to,
They do break. Yes.
we have to fix them.
That's it.
Okay. If there are no further questions, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Parks and Recreation Department for a contract and purchase order with Foley's Pump Service, Inc. in the amount of $11,020 for emergency replacement of the irrigation pump at Mead Park.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
The next item, it's all Ryan, but I just
Okay.
want to say one thing. This project's been going on for a long time, and Ryan came to one of the early meetings that we had, and we discussed equipment and things. And after the meeting, he came to me, and he was a groundsman, and he said, "I'd like to write up the minutes from this meeting." And he wrote up better minutes than I ever would. And from then on, I said, "Ryan, this is your project." And he's taken it from there and done a great job. And now it's yours.
So, thank you, John. And we're joined here today from members of the Waveney Committee as well as the Friends of Waveney Playground. So thank you for coming today. So I'll get right into it. So good morning. I am here on behalf of the New Canaan Parks Department, along with the Waveney Playground Committee and Friends of Waveney Playground. Before my request, I wanted to thank the committee, Friends of Waveney Playground, and the donors who have contributed to this project. Without your efforts and contributions, we would never have been able to create the renowned design and the amount of inclusive elements. Along with these two groups, I would like to thank Governor Lamont and those involved in awarding the town of New Canaan with our infrastructure improvement grant. What a privilege it is to partner and work amongst such incredible individuals. After immense consideration, we have confidently developed an entire site that will provide a vibrant and inclusive space that caters to the health and recreational needs of all residents, from adults seeking fitness opportunities to children in need of safe and engaging play area. Waveney Playground features inclusion, climbing structures, swings, slides, ramps, sensory and communication elements, music chimes, and accessible routes. Now, I would like to focus on my request for approval. We are requesting to enter into contracts one vendor, MRC Inc., for the total amount of $724,234 for the equipment, install, and surfacing of Waveney Playground. Within this contract, 3 vendors will provide us with materials and services. The 3 vendors include MRC Inc., Rubber Recycle, and Pat Corsetti Inc. This contract is under Connecticut State Contract Purchasing Agreement. I have added a total contingency of $41,835, bringing the total cost of my request to $766,069. The money is accounted for from 3 different sources. 1, Parks Capital account titled Playground Replacement. 2, Friends of Waveney Playground Fundraising. And 3, the Connecticut Steep Grant. And I just wanted to thank you all for considering my request, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Ryan, how long will this equipment last? Do we know?
So right now, the same equipment is over at Mead Park. I'm not exactly sure when that was installed, but the company has warranties and they guarantee around like 10 years. So those warranties range from 1 year to a lifetime. So specific, some conditions involve that warranty, but
Right.
I predict at least 10 years.
That's equipment, and then the base longer on the base, and the only reason I ask is because I think this was precipitated by a long time ago. We got a grant to put in this much less fancy piece of adaptive equipment, right? And so as a grant, it happened for free, and then we put it in, and then it's grown to a much more robust and fun project. So I just think people need to know that when we put these in, we're going to have to revisit them in the future to keep them up to par.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's great, but in 10 years we'll have to probably do something at
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Come on up. I don't have to interrupt.
Mhm.
I just wanted to say, hi, how are you? Monica Capella. I'm on the Friends of Waveney Playground Committee. I didn't mean to step on toes, but I also did Mead. And so I feel like I know a lot about playgrounds, probably more than your average citizen, maybe not as much as Ryan and John, but pretty close. Generally, MRC, who is the distributor for Game Time, there was a reason why we chose Game Time. It's because we believe that they are the best in terms of what they provide. If you have visited Mead, you will note that the structures are aging differently. The main structure is Game Time, which is what we're using for Waveney. And that one has held up a lot better than the one on the left, the Toddler Time. I was told by Game Time, it's an average of 12 to 15 years. But when I went and redid Mead, that structure was 20 years old. And it was still, I mean, it wasn't, falling apart. It was still technically usable. It wasn't a hazard at that point. So I just want to give some context for that. Yes, we will have to replace it, but 20 years is how long we got out of Mead.
Okay.
And I do know that Game Time does say, they say 12 to 15 years, but that's sort of the official sort of line, the party line, the platform. But it's northward of 15 years they anticipate it, and as long as 20.
That's great to know.
Yeah.
And is there, because with Mead, you also raised funds to replace what was there. I mean, do you envision sort of, as we get close to replacement, another group sort of working to fundraise? Because it was a much less scaled project that the town was willing to commit to. It is because of all the amazing efforts by your organization that it's significantly enhanced. But as Amy said, now we have a significantly bigger liability down the road. So what do you envision sort of your group or a successor group doing to sort of maybe partner again?
I mean, I cannot imagine a situation where the community would want to lose such a feature. So, I mean, if someone weren't able to pick up the baton, I mean, I fully anticipate to be here forever. I mean, I love, this is a place I call home.
Good.
I know, I'm already here, 14 years.
What board would you like to be on?
I cannot imagine a scenario where the community would want to lose this feature. It is, the excitement that is being built around this, the idea being that we have Mead and it is wonderful, but the concept behind all of the thought that we put into Waveney was a sort of a graduation plan, right? Where do the kids who feel that they've sort of outgrown Mead a little bit, where do they go, right? And when they're watching their siblings play, unfortunately what was happening, I'm sad to say my kids as well, they were making use of the adult fitness equipment and they were not supposed to be. It was not intended for them, but there just was nowhere for them to go. So the community has really rallied behind this. So I can't imagine there would be a situation where someone doesn't want to. However, that being said, it would be very easy for our committee to do another brick fundraiser where we go through the process one more time. This is not my first rodeo. I sort of love doing this. Serving my community is my love language. Acts of service are my love language. And so if there is a need, I mean, I will knock down people's doors if that's what it takes and get involved myself.
I mean, realistically, what you get is the next generation of young parents.
Yeah.
That
I don't.
the next generation of you.
Right.
Yes.
I don't see where there would be a lack of someone to step up. But if there were, then you certainly still have people like us who are very committed to this community.
I had just one quick question about the sources and uses of funds. So it looks like we have $787,581 in sources of funds. We have the $337,581 from the town, $150, and the 300, which is, by my math, 787. And the contract that we're looking to enter into is 766,069 with a contingency. So I just want to understand sort of, does that diminish? Which one's getting diminished?
Or hit less. Yeah. Where's the surplus go? Or is it going to be an account?
By what you're saying, there will be a surplus. There'll be other things like the benches we'd like to have put
Okay.
around it.
Okay.
We're hoping that people will want to purchase
So
some of them.
so because of the grant, we'll use the Friends of Waveney Park money, the at least 150 and the 300, and then the the difference, the 337 less whatever the difference between these 787 and 766, you can use towards,
Towards benches.
yeah, because you're
Along
going to
with
the
landscaping.
Yeah, town council tomorrow for this.
Going to the town council tomorrow. Yes, this is definitely contingent on them
Yeah.
approving.
Okay, I think probably we should tighten up that part of it, and make sure we have that.
And one thing the council will ask, because we've run into this before with public-private stuff, is that the private side of the fundraising, normally we want that in-house before we, so
It's here already, isn't it?
Yes.
We definitely transferred the money over. It's in-house, yes.
done. You guys are way ahead of
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah. We made sure.
Thank you.
And so I'd seen something as, not in your presentation, but I had seen something that you might have raised like 200 for this. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we wanted to have a contingency as
Okay.
well. We've already transferred over the 150, which
Okay.
represents what we committed.
Okay,
But any over it, we also still have to order 2 communication signs for kids who
Okay.
are non-speaking.
Yep.
We are working with a company of which it's a New Canaan mom, actually.
Yep.
Their sales manager is a New Canaan mom. So we're working with them. So we do have our own contingency as well, just so that we don't have to go back to our donors. And we've got the funds for this sign. Any overage that is left will go, back to the town, or we can keep a maintenance fund. Because once those funds are committed to the town, obviously there's nothing more that we can do with them. So if something arises, then, down the road.
I like maintenance funds.
Yeah.
Stuff happens. Stuff happens.
Yes,
Yeah.
harnesses, swings,
Yeah.
anything can happen.
and it is interesting because I listened to your presentation to the Parks and Rec Commission. I think that was the presentation where you talked about this sign, which I didn't really know, and it's in coordination with what the schools already do with kids with special needs, that, if they have language issues, that they can use the sign to communicate with their caregivers or their friends, or it's really
That's great.
interesting. I mean, it's amazing how things have progressed.
Really,
It really is amazing to see how, things have moved forward.
The schools have,
Yeah.
and it was really important for us to
Yeah.
mimic that as well.
Yeah.
Because these kids will already have been used to seeing it, they're exposed to it.
Right.
So we actually have 2 versions of the sign. We have one that's for kids who, because we do have kids who have language maybe barriers, but they may also have visual barriers.
Yeah.
So we've got one for kids who just have language barriers, and another one for kids with language barriers and also sort of visually impaired, which
Yeah.
what is really wonderful about our committee is not only are we in touch with the local SPED community, but we also have kids who are a part of it. And so each one of us sort of brings a lived experience to the table. And so it was really instrumental for all of us in sort of addressing all of the different needs. We really tried to account for every unforeseen circumstance that we could possibly think of within our community.
Do you think, this is just a personal interest, not an approval related, but I can envision like having that there actually helps the schools, because there's another touch point for using like an educational tool that like is reinforced elsewhere in our community. So, it's just.
Absolutely. And I had said also to Parks and Rec, what's really wonderful about this is the fact that the kids are already exposed.
Mhm.
If we present this in public settings, it makes it sort of second nature. There's no othering of kids like mine.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? There's no othering of other kids who use this because the kids are already used to it. They're exposed, and it's just, they get to see it one more time. Oh, hey, this is at school and I know how to use this. I can communicate with my friend. Or, the hope is that, like I said, it's not just initiated by a kid who necessarily needs it, but if a neurotypical kid understands or sort of perceives that there is a language barrier, well, let's grab your hand and let's walk over to the sign. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me, but maybe if you point to me on the sign, then we can talk and we can play.
Great.
That's
really
really
great.
That's really great.
That's great.
What about, I know we asked about this initially, but it's just talk about the fencing up there around this area, because that curve that comes up with traffic, it seems every time I'm up there, it gets worse and worse with people like speeding through there. How are we dealing with the safety side of it, with kids coming through there?
That's a good question. So as far as a fence goes, we have a master plan right now. We don't know the exact design of the fence, but we do know that there will be a fence around the playground. And within that, fence, there's going to be one gate, so one main entrance for the kids to enter and exit. So that's an important feature. As far as the maintenance side goes, we'll have other gates for blowing leaves and mowing within that area because we'll have a grass area before the fence. So it's going to be the playground, grass, and then a fence.
You
So
also have a guide rail there too. Or in that
correct,
area, right?
but it doesn't go all the
All the
way
way, right.
up the roadway. So that was the initial thought, to include a guide rail, but it doesn't secure the children as well as a fence would. So
Well, no, I'm
it's
just saying,
essential.
in addition to that, I mean,
Mhm.
you can't have enough stuff there. I mean, it's
Mhm.
just.
And we're gonna landscape it too,
Correct.
so there'll be trees and everything else. So
Mhm.
we haven't completely finished the design of the fence, guide rail and landscaping, but
Is that in the fencing?
no, it's not.
No.
We have other money in it.
You have
It's
that
separate.
in the budget ready for that. Okay.
So going forward, the plan will be to order the equipment, keep it, and then spring of 2026, have the construction go underway. So just so
Well,
you're
the
aware.
fence,
of
I feel
that.
like that's the town side of the world where we just need to make sure that everything
Mhm.
is contained and kids are safe in there. The entrance would be obviously on the field side, so.
Gonna be
Or-
towards the soccer fields, that
Mhm.
direction. So there'll be because from that parking lot, there's gonna be a sidewalk going up to the new west parking lot too, with a crosswalk there.
Correct.
So it's all gonna incorporate together.
Mhm.
Which age group is this to appeal to?
According to the manufacturer, it's 5 to 12. But we do have some elements there that can skew a little bit younger as well. So there's generally two groups. It's 2 to 5 or 2 to 5 or
Mhm.
0 to 2, which would represent Mead. Mead sort of covers all of the bases.
Right.
This is predominantly 5 to 12 with some elements that will go down to 2 years old.
Yeah, and you expect that kids will probably go there on their own while their
Mhm.
siblings are playing soccer and they're not bugging you on the sideline when you're coaching.
That's the idea, right? And that mom and dad don't have to worry about, as you said, the parking situation. I mean, I was always terrified. I'd turn around and then my son we call it eloping, he would just bolt.
Yeah.
And so at least if I could put him in a play space that is fully enclosed, then I wouldn't have to worry about all of the traffic and him sort of navigating that. So
Right.
yes, I do.
But
I
we
would
envision
think
this, there's not adults supervising. This is just kids playing on their own, right?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that that's required. I can't imagine a scenario where some adults wouldn't want to go there. I do envision this and hope it's a destination for caregivers and for parents, grandparents to take their children.
Right.
So I think that's also why we had talked about lawn furniture. If a grandma wants to take her grandchild to play, we would love to be able to give them a place to rest.
Mhm.
We would love to be able to do that.
Did hear a grandparent on Parks and Rec say, they would love to have that
Ah.
as something to be able to watch their grandchildren while they're, and quite frankly, a 5-year-old unattended, I don't care how, is a little dicey, a little dicey. 12 might not so much, but five on a playground is a little interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what's beautiful about this project is we already had the groundwork for Mead Park, knowing that the exact same scenario with baseball games there, it's worked perfectly. And the idea that all the kids would be in there without a parent. I mean, I've never been to Mead Park Playground and not seen at least one or two parents that are just hanging around and, making sure everything is okay. So, I mean, it's just the nature of it. So I would expect a duplication of that kind of behavior. So anyway.
All right.
All right.
Any other questions?
Yep.
If not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Parks and Recreation Department to enter into a contract and a purchase order with MRC Inc. in the amount of $724,324 plus a contingency of $41,835 for a total project cost of $766,069. The project entails the purchase and installation of a playground in Waveney Park. And this is subject to the approval of the town council per Town Code Chapter 10, approval of improvements, Section 10-2.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank
And
you.
thank you all for all
Thank you very
your
much.
work.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's amazing, all the work that
So
you guys have done and the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan and John, and everybody. Yeah, now we're very fortunate.
Thanks. Evan.
Thank you. All right. Okay. Full-time employees.
Good morning. As you can see, we have kind of a lot on your agenda this morning. And the first candidate we are asking for approval of is Michael Burns for the position of Groundsman 2 in the Parks Department. We had 42 applications for this position and we interviewed 6 people, and Michael was the person that we all agreed on. He currently works for Parks and Rec in the tennis courts, and he wanted to get more involved. He has a passion for landscaping, which is great. And before that, he worked at the Seymour Recreation Department, so he has quite a bit of experience in this area. And one thing that stood out for me is he said he's willing to take on anything. So we are asking that you approve Michael Burns as a Groundsman 2 in the Parks Department.
Should we just go through them? Okay. Okay. So next one is Joseph Beatty. This will be for the Highway Department. He is currently working with Connecticut DOT in New Canaan since March of 2023. He has experience with road work, heavy equipment, crew leader, and he previously worked in finance at Morgan Stanley and decided that he wanted to get outside and is looking to do more of this type of work. Next one is Darius Kirkland. He is a laborer for the city of Rye since 21. He also worked for the city of New Rochelle from 14 to 21. He also owns and operates his own landscaping business, has a CDLA. And the next one is Peter Beltry, construction equipment operator, site supervisor, volunteer firefighter, and has experience in heavy equipment and groundskeeping. And we had 44 applications for these 3 positions. And then,
Yeah, why don't we do these?
Yeah,
So this is
no.
Parks and Highway. So could I have any questions about these? So we're poaching from this DOT, huh?
yes. And he's a good one.
All right, so if I could get a motion to approve Michael Burns, Groundsman 2 for the Parks Department, Joseph Vitti for Equipment Operator 2 for the Highway Department, Darius Kirkland for Equipment Operator 2 for the Highway Department, and Peter Veltri, Equipment Operator 2 for the Highway Department.
So moved.
Second, it's unanimous. Thank you. All right, and then,
Perfect. Thank you.
Cheryl.
thanks, guys.
Thank you. And a lot of people to choose from.
44. That's great.
Yeah, well, it was 88 altogether, 88 resumes for the 2.
It's been a busy couple of months.
Position. A lot of our people are sort of retiring. We've
Yeah.
had a lot of retirements.
Yeah. Well, I hope to think that that means people think we're a good employer.
Yeah.
You know,
So. All right.
okay, the last one is Adrienne Beatty. She has actually been with the town clerk's office a year today, which is funny. And we would like to promote her from an admin in that office to assistant to the town clerk.
Is there a relationship?
Not that we know of.
No, not that we know of.
So we talked about this position, and
Yeah.
just to clarify, the duties of the, is there a difference between the assistant town clerk and the assistant to the town clerk?
Or the acting assistant? Yeah. Is
So
that,
the assistant town clerk is an appointed position, and the assistant town clerk could also be appointed, but it doesn't have to be.
Assistant to the town. clerk.
Assistant to the town
I know.
clerk.
I
That
think
was
we
very
should
confusing.
maybe, can we
we have an assistant?
consider,
Yeah.
can we consider a title change to deputy town clerk?
Yes, Claudia
Because
and I
this
have.
is totally confusing.
I have spoken about that and are looking to make some changes
Okay,
in the future, especially coming into the budget. So,
okay.
but do we have a deputy town clerk if we're using the new term now? Yeah.
so right now we are going out for an admin and another assistant to the town clerk. And then Adrienne will be appointed as the assistant to the town clerk, but she will be appointed.
So she'll be now the deputy.
Yes.
The new word.
Eventually.
All right. So that void we have in coverage will be filled
Correct.
soon.
Correct. Yes.
All right.
These are union positions too, so there's a little bit of stepping between.
But
positions.
I'm going to use a new term. The deputy position is not union. That's just what the town clerk.
That is why we do
chooses.
want to create that, make it more of a supervisory position, somebody who really can act in Claudia's behalf.
Right.
And so we are working with legal to create that position.
Which, will that be
That will
Adrian?
be the assistant town clerk will now be the deputy, which would be Adrian, but there's some work that we need to do.
And I'm just thinking serving the public, that,
Yes.
that we have coverage. So
Yeah.
Correct.
that'll be resolved soon?
Yes.
Okay.
We are working together weekly.
Okay.
I
Great.
mean, the confusion of the titles, I'd love to see that cleaned up as well, because not only is it confusing for the public, but even internally, it's like, it's such a long term.
Yes. Even for us posting.
confusing for us.
Well, that's good news. Okay. And Adrian's been great, so.
Yeah,
very good
so
news.
she'll be. well.
So if there are no further questions, if I could get a motion to approve Adrian Beatty as assistant to the town clerk, office of the town clerk.
So moved.
Second,
It's unanimous. Thank you.
I'm glad that's all getting sorted out.
Yeah.
Just so people
Yes.
can do the work and not worry
Yes.
about the stuff. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Probationary status.
Yes, Ryan and I are here to ask to remove Alex Davis from probation. Ryan, I'll turn it over.
Yeah, so Alex has been a great asset to our team. He passed the junior operator pesticide exam. So with that, with the probationary period ending, we would also like to promote him to a groundsman 3. He's willing to operate all of the machinery within our department. He's actually taken on the role of doing the baseball and softball fields, which is a big responsibility, especially with all the rain we've been having in the spring on the weekends. So early mornings, a big portion of labor. So he's done an excellent job, and I see him growing within our department down the road. So.
Can you remind me how long people are on probation? 6 months. 6 months. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right. If not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Human Resources Director to remove Alex Davis from probationary status and promote to groundsman 3.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Bill and Tiger.
Morning. Several to go through here. Okay, so we'll start with the first one, the Town Hall Annex air condition project. This is, I guess you could say phase 2. We did the lower level last year, new boiler, and then the new air conditioning unit. The second floor system has been, we've been using bubble gum to hold together. Basically, it's broadened out the condensers, or it's original equipment, 20 some odd years old. Also, what I'd like to do is part of this project is a 15-ton unit for that whole big second floor. It's one big unit, and they most likely put it in when there was no roof. So what we're going to do is take it apart and methodically take it apart and remove it, and put 2 smaller 7.5-ton units, air handlers, in the building, and it'll tie into each side of the ductwork with no problem. That'll give redundancy, which is always good to have, and it'll satisfy the second floor space. It'll also probably be more energy efficient, newer equipment, getting it away from the old freons and going to the newer stuff that's required, 134A. And be energy efficient in the sense that if we can run it now as 2 systems instead of one big one, we don't need to run 15 tons when it's a nice day like today. So there'll be some cost savings in energy over time. So we like approval to move forward. It did go out to bid, and we like to CV Longo, who's been done a lot of work for us over the past, was the low bid on this one. So we're requesting the contract with CV Longo Mechanical in the amount of $108,430 plus contingency of $10,800 for a total request of $119,230.
Bill, I just have a question, because it seems like we're only getting 2 bids a lot of times. Is it that we've only worked with these 2, and so we call them and nobody else responds to the public bid?
I had 5 people show up for this one and only received 2 bids on this one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I can't explain why. We advertise it on our website.
Yep.
We advertise it in the newspaper, and I'm getting
couple people, new people actually came down from, they're kind of further away. I don't know if that deters them or not. I mean, no one likes to commute, obviously. I was surprised because the one other guy that didn't bid was here twice. I met him twice out there to go through the project and then fell off the plan. I can't answer it. I don't know why.
Are the locations of, when you mentioned splitting it, are the locations changing for the equipment or are they still?
No, actually, the 15-ton unit is quite large. It's above the, I don't know if you're familiar with the second floor, but there where the bathrooms were.
Yeah.
So it's suspended from the ceiling. It's a big square unit.
Yep.
It's just going to be basically
Same place.
similar size, just two separate systems. Now, and the ductwork runs each side up the building, the spiral ductwork. We're just going to tie it to each individual unit. So it's very simple to do, actually. I'm surprised.
That's what I was gonna say. It's pretty straightforward because everything's there and the ductwork, everything's exposed. too.
Yeah, no, it's just the equipment and then there's just some modifications just to attach the ductwork to each unit separately.
And you guys can like monitor them by Wi-Fi and, run different heat and different cooling depending who's in it. I mean, is it-
There's more manual over there because it's got a smart board up there that we could program manually. I can't do it from here. The building doesn't warrant a BMS system for the size of the building and the usage of it. It'd be very expensive to do it. I just see manually doing it is just fine. And we can put perimeters on the,
I mean, is it expensive? Because we just put a heating system in and it just comes with Wi-Fi there. So, but they don't just automatically come with a Wi-Fi application?
no, this one I'm not quite sure of. I don't think so. We didn't have that discussion. It's more just manual and the thermostats themselves that you program them and you can.
Yeah, so you'll
set
program
backs.
them to reflect, yep.
And they've been pretty good, actually. No one's really complained about them. We kind of set them and forget them almost.
Sure. But well, you know how it's used, yeah.
Yeah.
Other questions?
So the life expectancy, that was the original units that were in there, right?
It's almost 25 years now, I guess.
Yeah.
So we would expect similar wear out of this, I guess, 20 years plus, I hope.
I was gonna say, have you had to do any appliances recently?
They don't last.
They don't last the same amount.
It's not a durable good anymore.
I'm
Used to be
just
a
like,
durable good. They're not a durable good anymore.
Even like hardware.
yeah,
You pay the same amount, but it didn't last.
no.
That work against us is our own EPA because we have to use the 413A, I think it is, freons. But the EPA already anticipates in 2035, they're changing it again.
Oh, geez.
And they haven't found a gas yet, but they are changing it in 2035 and they're trying to find a gas that'll be compatible to the equipment. Problem we're having now, the old freon is not compatible to the equipment. So you can't just, leave coils in place and just change parts. You have to change everything. I don't know.
What do you think we could get out of these?
I would hope we get 20 years out of it. I mean,
You? Okay.
That'd be crazy if you could.
Because we're replacing the roof, we're replacing the AC. I mean, we're committing to this building. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
why that's why I asked the question, Bill. I mean, now once we're going down this road where we're in, like, this is gonna be our building for a while.
No, I see 20 years, maybe a little bit more. We're not in Florida, so your regular's not running every single day. It's not an office building. It's very light use.
Well, it is an office building.
Well, the downstairs is a different system.
Oh, that's right. That's
So
right.
I did take that into consideration.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
a little different of an atmosphere.
Okay.
Designed differently because of offices versus the
Okay.
big open space.
Okay.
So I did anticipate that. So that being said, it's not so much wear and tear on the equipment that'll age it out. Would be more the environment that it sits in outside.
Right.
That's pretty much happened over now, and literally is rusting away. The cabinet. So hopefully the newer stuff will be more of a powder coated design, and the tin will last longer. That's
And this isn't a question for you, Bill, but just throwing it out there as far as the lease that we do with the dance studio that's in there. I mean, as a taxpayer, we want to make sure that, we're looking at that as
The highest and best use.
anybody, even, even if you're the dance studio, you'll understand that we're literally putting, here's another $100,000 in the building. I mean, it's, we want to make sure we're highest and best use, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, originally that building was used for teens and for kids. And I love the idea that the dance studio is in there, but I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that, they should be paying something toward the carrying cost of this stuff. So,
Well, and quite frankly, we don't have enough office space here right now to accommodate all our
so this is,
departments.
So
Our health department is in there and it is, I think it's good that it's separated because there are clients that are coming in there.
Mhm.
that are discussing private
Yeah.
issues. So it's probably good that they're not part of the main town hall. But we also don't have enough room here for,
So that
all
gives
the
us, it
departments.
gives us some optionality
Yep.
if we need
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Upstairs is a limited lease where it's only from 4 PM in the afternoon after, just because of the confidentiality downstairs and the noise. You can't have kids dancing above you. That wouldn't go. We've been down that road. It didn't work well. So it is a limited lease. So it's, to your point, it's a great use for what it is for today. Down the road.
Yeah, so far it's worked really well with the offices downstairs and,
Yeah.
All right, good.
all right. If there are no further questions, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a contract with CV Longo Mechanical in the amount of $108,430 plus a contingency of $10,800 for a total cost of $119,230. The project entails the removal and installation of a new HVAC system for the second floor of the annex.
Second.
It's unanimous. All right, Town Hall Roof Project.
Annex roof project. This is from.
Yeah, Annex.
As you recall, last meeting that we all had, you guys approved the replacement of that roof with the same design. Little struggle with the design at this point. We pulled the new colors at the greens and everything, and they're pretty strong. So if you're trying to look for the same look, it's not going to look exactly the same. It's going to be pretty loud. Also about the constructability of it, because we don't, there was never a plan for that. It's a little challenging trying to lay it out. If we did one color, we do a third at a time on this side, and you keep going and keep your exposure down to a minimum. If they do that design, they have to strip the whole entire roof. They have to actually draw the design on there, and then all those shingles are cut and woven into place, which is a weak link at the end of the day.
I mean, it's a weak
3-week
link. It's a weak link in terms.
You gotta keep cutting. You're thinking a brand new shingle and you gotta keep cutting them and weaving them in. And if we expose that roof, it's a 3-week each side to keep it exposed, and we don't control weather. When I talked to them about, well, how'd they do it when they did it? He said there was nobody in the building at the time, so we had other means of being able to protect water from going inside that is not acceptable when you're trying to do it with people in there. So it's quite the challenge. So we did get some panels. Deanna looked at them and she kind of agreed that it was pretty loud on the green side. So what we're proposing is just to go to the solid color, which is the tan, which will look a lot cleaner than the tan that's out there. It's the same color, basically, and just do it all one color.
I had Tucker to use AI to take the panel that we had. We took a picture of it. I had her put it in AI and lay it on there.
So it's the light color, the crisscross
Yes.
color. Yeah.
Get rid of crisscross. It won't be, I mean, there's a lot, I mean, you can go either way, but it's subjective, but like, you're not bringing a lot of attention to it with the design and everything. And maybe a little bit more softer for the town area, but, I guess it's a perspective eye of people, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing if you try to replicate the panel, the current design, the cost would go up because they'd have to try to waterproof it and stuff, right? I mean, I know you said it's just risky to do it, but I mean, it
savings
sounds
of
like.
5,000 by not doing that design, but it's also a savings of probably 2 weeks of open exposure to the roof. To the
Which could be
elements.
expensive, yeah. Mhm.
And it's a challenge when you open a roof.
And when you do a third, is it horizontally or?
It's a section, a section.
So you do vertically.
Right up. So you got to remember also, we're wreath sheath in the roof. So they have to strip it, resheath it,
So
which
you
is a
sheath it,
challenge.
put it on, sheath the next second, put it on.
Challenge because it's not traditional 2x4 construction. We have purlins that go across that they have to put 12-inch screws to capture each one as they fasten 1 1/4 inch plywood. They're putting down there to stabilize the whole roof. The roof failure, it's old, yes, but it also has been moving. We know that. We know the shingles out there have been moving over the years, and that's what brings us to the replacement of it now. So we're going to tighten it all up, put a good roof on it, and that roof should last.
Okay.
One of the advantages of a lighter color roof is obviously less heat down into the building, but also the disadvantages, there's staining possibilities of stuff running down there. I mean, is there any thoughts there as far as lighter versus darker? I mean, it's all
Asheville.
Okay, there you go. Put my spot there. Listen, Tan's been out there for 25 years, looked pretty good to me. You know, I could do without the green. We looked at, there was quite a few colors on that chart and there's
No good answer.
there's nothing that,
I threw it out to a couple decorators because it's not my,
Yeah.
not my sphere of competency. So the tan was universally, so I said, okay,
All right.
somebody's gonna have something to say about it, I'm sure.
It's certainly,
So basically it's the tan that's there, right?
Yeah.
That's on there. Or
Yeah,
we're just
similar.
making, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar.
cross that, but just keep it more solid.
there you go.
All right.
How long does it take to put that roof?
Well, originally it was supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks, but right now we're reducing it because we're up to this time. So he's hoping to do it in 4 or 5 weeks, weather pending. So we will start it on Monday. There will be a little disruption in the parking lot back here for the first day. We have to close the parking lot to get all the materials in. Then it'll be half the parking lot's gonna be closed off against the building while they do the work. They're gonna do the side first and then they'll move around on the other side. So
Okay.
It hasn't rained all summer, so I'll make up for all the rain come when we open this roof up.
Yeah. All right, if there are no further questions, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into the following change order to an already approved contract for the Town Hall Annex Roof Project as follows. Shingle roofing with single color, $189,500. It's a change order cost to the current contract with Armor Tight Construction Group. It's a reduction in $5,000.
So moved.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. This is a, here we go, a change of contractor owner and a PO approval. Been a lot of that going on this year.
Yeah.
Companies are closing down or selling to other companies. So our current fire sprinkler, they do quarterly inspections and repairs or what have you by for fire code stuff that we're required to do, has been with William J. Wells, also known as MAC Fire Protection. They sold out to Summit Fire Security, and MAC is actually now just a Connecticut branch for that company. So we had currently approval of blanket orders to do the inspections, what have you. So we would really just like the approval. We'll cancel. I don't know if you have to approve canceling the MAC one, but we'd like approval for the blanket order for Summit Fire Security LLC for the $21,706.45 and cancel the prior blanket order, purchase order 260284.
Okay.
That was approved for William Wells MAC Fire Protection.
Do you guys have any questions?
No.
No.
All right, if I can get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works for the following: transfer William J. Wells, MAC Fire Protection, approved inspections and repairs to Summit Fire and Security LLC. Blanket purchase order for Summit Fire and Security in the amount of $21,706.45, and to cancel a previously approved purchase order with William J. Wells for MAC Fire Protection.
So moved.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
Next one's contract approval for MJ Daly for the maintenance for the HVAC equipment at our new police department. MJ Daly was the subcontractor to Turner who did all the installs. They're a fairly good sized company out of Waterbury. They've been around since 1900, early 1900s. I reviewed everything, all the equipment, quite a bit of equipment over there. And there's a lot of maintenance with this equipment. So we'd like to keep them on board since they installed it. They know where all the equipment is. They're familiar with it. And then there won't be any finger pointing should there be a warranty issue or if another contractor came in. And so we kind of try to avoid that. So after speaking with them, we were able to get a little bit of better deal by agreeing to, if we get approval, to go with a 3-year contract, but it'll also be subject to your approval every July 1 anyhow, and of course of funding from the budgets. That being said, so we'd like to request that you approve MJ Daly for the amounts as they were stated for the first year, starting October 1, since we're already into this year, of $19,764, and then with the following 2 years for the total of $69,252.00.
Can I ask a question? So we just put this equipment in, right? So is it typical that you have to pay maintenance for the first year when everything should be under at least a
Right,
year warranty. I mean, we're talking 2,000 a month, more or less for this. But I mean, typically when you put something in, you got the first year covered.
It's like buying a car, they don't change, you gotta pay for your own oil changes, you gotta pay for the wear and tear of your tires.
I don't know, when you buy cars now, you get 3 years of
Yeah.
that stuff for free.
Oh, Bill, maybe it was a bag, but buildings, it's, you have a lot of
I did not get-
filters.
Oil change free for 3 years.
You
No,
gotta look,
it's
you
a-
gotta
How does
look
that
at
work?
somewhere else. You get it somewhere
But
else.
the way-
Anyways, point being.
But the way I look at this, it's not, the first year, should we have to be changing filters and stuff in the first year? Or is it just, to Amy's point, it's like, okay, stuff's brand new. It should last at least, it's brand new. So it should last at least 1 year. We
And if
should have
it
one.
breaks, it should be on them.
Yeah, we should have 1
It's
year.
warranty on the hard parts on the equipment. As far as filters and diagnostics, it's hard to hold somebody liable for filters when we just had them dig up South Avenue, and I'm sure those filters are filthy right now. If you wanted to buy the maintenance as part of the project, you would have paid for it. It would have been a hidden cost in there, but we don't do that because we want to be able to control the amount of maintenance. And we can also control the amount of filters they are changing. When they pull them out and we go and see that they're clean, then we will not do them as often. But until we understand the building and what's going on in the environment, we have to be careful with that. As an example, we ran into issues like down at the highway department. Highway department's roof is at the same elevation as the transfer station. We do filters 4 times a year down there because of all the dirt and dust that blows across the roofs and sucks it in. So when you have a police department that relies on a lot of fresh air makeup, there's a lot of filters involved. And the filter's only as good as the environment it's in on that given time.
So does this expense, do we also have material expenses on top of this, or that
All
includes?
includes, it includes all the filters, it includes them coming down, plugging in, everything's very high tech down there. They understand it. It also includes them working, because we have a BMS system over there with that contractor. They work hand in hand when there's issues. So again, that we're not trying to bring a third party to really, mix things up a little bit. It's trying to keep everything working.
And in the old police department, did we have a contract, if I should know this, I apologize, for the HVAC maintenance? That's like a typical operating expense for running these
Yes,
buildings?
yes, we did. It was part of the overall one with all the town buildings. It was a bit of a different system back then. Obviously, it wasn't high tech as this is. But yes, we have all our buildings have
And this expense sits with town buildings, not at the police department
town
operating budget?
buildings. Yeah. We anticipated it. I did build some projections into my budget when we went ahead because we had talked to some of these folks ahead of time. So we had the money's available in my current budget for all this stuff.
That is interesting that it doesn't.
The first year, you don't get it. That's kind of
Well, that,
annoying
and it
to
doesn't
me.
reside at the police department budget.
I
It
agree.
resides at-
There's a lot of weird things that go on. You have to understand too. And now like
Police department is operations, police operations, not the building, right?
Okay.
So,
Things are.
all with you guys.
All right.
So is this the right price? I mean, $2,000 a month? That's what we're paying, more or less.
Yes, it is actually, because the town hall is very close in numbers. When you look at square footage, about the same size. And I believe the town hall is a little bit more.
So this is the company that installed the boilers. So they're doing the servicing. That's why
Installed
we,
all the mechanical equipment over there and the boilers. So it's, in a sense, it's good in the sense that it's one contractor. In a lot of cases, you have a boiler installer and you have somebody else. So
Ah, man, get the keeps on giving.
there's option to get out of these contracts too. of course, So.
any other questions? If not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a 3-year contract with MJ Daly for HVAC and boiler maintenance services at the police department headquarters in the following amounts. October 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026, $19,764. July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, $24,384. And July 1, 2027 to June 30th, 2028, $25,104 for a total of $69,252.
So moved.
It's unanimous. All right, Lapham.
Center flooring installation. So I don't know if you folks been over there yet, but the carpeting has been installed and they're back in business over there. It looks great. Got nothing but positive feedback from the new type of carpet. We put a carpet tile somewhere. And like what we use here, the only difference is we did do a cushion backing under it to help with the aesthetics, to help people that have hearing impairments. It doesn't echo as much. And it's a little easier to walk on. As we get older, we tend to drag our feet a little bit more. So
It's great that it's tiles. because
Yes.
people spill.
Yes, yes, it is. And then we did the vinyl floor also in the coffee room area, I guess they call it. And Aggie's happy with that, and so is Kathy, because it's so much easier to clean up. Believe it or not, they do spill a little coffee once in a while over there. So, it came out great. I'm very happy with it. And it also, when we pulled up the old carpet, other than a lot of glue to deal with, we didn't have to do any glue on or any subflooring repairs, or very minimal leveling. So statically, when you look down the hallways, you're not going to get dizzy. It looks pretty nice and flat and level. So it looks great. So we saved some money there. That being
Yeah, did we
said,
save money? Because yeah,
yes, we did, because I had allowances built into the contract because it was an unknown.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to control those allowances, and we also had a square foot unit cost to
Yeah.
control that. And
how much we
had,
saved, do you know?
Like, it was like $7,000.
That's fine.
Yeah. Part of the overall project, we also included the kitchen to be part of this project, where we held back a little bit on and calling that a phase 2 because of the unknown going into the carpet. Once I got past that and we're comfortable and there's enough funds available without a problem to do the kitchen. Now, the kitchen and the area leading into the kitchen hallway where the coffee pots actually are, as VC tile in that area. Then they have the approved by the health department, the kitchen floor has to be like a bathtub effect where you have to roll up and everything. Aggie's had some issues over there because the type of floor that's in there now is very slippery when it gets wet. So there's a lot of concerns about somebody falling. And it is, it's I think they put it in when they did it back in 2000, also around 2003, I think they did that building. So we'd like to seek approval to replace that flooring, all of it, with a vinyl flooring that has actually, it's a little bit suited for that type of kitchen. It's going to require that I take everything out of the kitchen. I mean, the stove, everything got to come out, which is not a big deal. BTU actually, who does that type of stuff, will disconnect, and I will probably have Castor move it, just put it on the truck for a couple of days, and then just take it back in and we'll hook it back up. So we have funding within this budget to do all that work, but for right now to get things going, and we're not going to do this till after Christmas, when they're quiet, and so we'll get the material in, so we'll be ahead. But I wanted to get approval now to get everything, to get ahead of it, I guess you say.
So Bill, if you pull all the equipment out, is there an opportunity to do a deep clean on all that equipment? Does it need it? Like,
Well, I think it's going to happen just inherently, because you're going to take it all out, and as you bring it in, they're going to clean it.
Just make
We
sure.
do the hoods. We do the hood system there. We have, I think Anna had trans cleaned over there. We'll power wash down the hoods, which is required anyhow. And we're going to clean up everything best we can, because the health department's also going to be involved in this, and we'll make sure that once it's all back in place, that they do their inspection to make sure that we did put it all back the right way and everything does meet the health code. So yeah, we're going to give it a good fresh start, for sure.
Okay. All right. If there are no further questions, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works for a change order with Frank Higgins in the amount of $17,864 plus a contingency of $1,786 for a total cost of $19,650. The project entails the removal of old flooring and the installation of a new floor system in the kitchen at Lapham Center.
Second.
Thank you. All right.
All right, so the next one, Fire Department Cold Storage Building Project. This has been out there for a while. We've received funding approval in our budget to move forward with this project. So there's, we're GC in this project, and there's certain elements to it, how we're gonna do this. So our first request would be to, for complete dismantling services to remove the building. Now, the building, if you're familiar with it, is next to the gas pumps on the highway department. It's a Butler building, metal building. There's no heat in it. There's nothing in it. It's just cold storage. We looked at the slab that the floor that's in there now is beat up, but for what they use it for, we didn't feel that we needed to rip all that concrete out and reinvent the whole wheel here. The building size is fine. So we're going to reuse. We're going to do a little site work there, which I'll bring to you at a later date. If we receive approval to go with the new building, because I need their shop drawings to know exactly how I'm putting the columns. And we have a structural engineer on board also who's been helping us with this. So the first stage of this would be to remove the building. And I did get 3 quotes, and the lowest one being from Complete Dismantling Services for the $18,988 plus contingency of $1,900 for the total request on that line of $20,888. You want to go through these one by one? You want me to go through the whole thing first?
One, yeah, why don't we go through the whole thing? Because
Okay.
it's like,
And then, sure. Parabandi Builders was the low bid on actually, Parabandi Builders and Remodeling LLC. They were the low bid to supply and install the steel building. This was an engineer, by our engineer, put together design on the building. Like I said, same size. It's, I think, 80 feet by 40 feet. And went out to bid, did all our advertising on the website and everything. We had, again, I think I had about 4 or 5 guys come down to look at it. I don't know if it was a deterrent by not, they want to do more site work and what have you, but these, the building is basically a kit.
As a prefab, right?
It's pretty much a prefab. It's gonna come in and they're gonna just put it all together. So, so we ended up with, I forget what I asked. What is?
2 bidders.
2 bidders on that one. And, Parabandi is the low bid on it. But I think it was about $40,000 low, somewhere around there. And, checked them all out and they've done this before. They're very enthusiastic to have the project. It's about, he said about 90 days, once the shop drawings are approved to have the building on site. So the goal would be to dismantle the building first, do the site work I need to do, and then have the site ready. So when they show up the building, they'll put it right together. And he said he could build it probably in 3 months, and 30 days or so, build that whole thing.
so what's in that cold storage building?
It's the off-season equipment. So, you know, during the winter time, they put their vac hauls in there,
Okay.
leaf equipment and what have you. And then they move it around come summertime, you know, they switch things around in winter.
Okay, so like they move the trucks into those bays.
full.
And you move those trucks into the cold storage and bring the other, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I might need a tour though.
It's a full building. It's definitely a full building, depending on what time of day you walk in, I guess. And then the third element to that would be from Lincoln Door Systems to supply and install the 2 garage doors. Lincoln Door is our vendor who actually installed all the garage doors a couple years ago on the Highway Department and the Parks Garage. They're fantastic on emergency response for us. For the firehouse, they've done the doors over there also. They've always come up with low numbers. We'd like to keep them on board because of they're just a great service and they familiar and they can supply the exact same doors that are on all the other ones, which is good because I've done it before. It's steel, Peter, pay Paul. When a door is broke, I need that door. I can go take a part off the cold storage building, which we actually did one time to get we through a winter storm or what it may have you. So we'd like approval to move forward with them folks. Backing up, the builder, Paranati Builders came in at $141,589.28. So we're asking for a $14,000 contingency for a total of $155,589.28. And then Lincoln Door Systems, they came in at $16,169 with a $1,600 contingency for a total request of $17,769.
Any questions?
What did you guys budget for this?
We budgeted $475 for it, but we did have that savings by not having to rip all the concrete
Yes.
floor out of that. We will have another one. I'll be bringing to you to do some footing work we do have to do there. We didn't have nothing on this building because it was built in 1970. So we had nothing as far as details. I actually did a little excavating out there and we discovered what we need to discover, which is actually good. Because we thought we were going to have to do a lot more site work with footings. Right now, we just have to do the exterior in 4 locations and add 2 more footings for the center columns.
Okay, because this is approximately 200,000 with your contingencies and you had 475. So that, and you might have a little bit more work there, but so this is a positive delta in terms of expense. Which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we had, unfortunately, it's one of those things, you're looking at it and we kind of, looked at the big picture and said, we have to kind of budget for the worst case because there's so many unknowns
all right.
there.
No, that's
without
just,
having a
that's a
plan.
happy budget. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
this one is a good one. It's a lot nicer to give you guys money back than asking you for more, trust me.
Lighting inside the building and conduits, outlets, all that stuff that you have to.
Again, that's my minor cost that I'll probably bring forward to you, or it might just go to Gianna at that point. The power that comes in, it comes in outside. We just pulling it back 10 feet as part of it and then run it in. There's only lights in there and a fire alarm, and
That's
it's
it.
just a light switch with the 2 big lights in there. We're gonna put an exhaust fan there, but there is no heating system. There's none of that to
I
worry
think we
about.
should probably do no heating systems in all of our buildings. Be nice, save a lot of money.
Okay, down south, maybe.
Can't wait
So
for those pipes burst.
back to the first, the dismantling. Is there any scrap metal value for an old metal building? I mean, is there? It seems like we have a guy that comes and collects scrap metal and actually pays for it. Is there a?
That's reflective in their price, because they, of course, we had that conversation.
Yep.
And
Because that's a lot.
that's a lot of metal that I don't want to have to try to handle somehow internally. So they take that, because it is all recyclable. It's all part of it, and we will be getting the tickets as far as where it went, because we
Good.
have to.
Good.
But yeah, and that might be reflective in all three of those prices when you look at them, because there's a pretty good spread there, I thought, from $18,000 to $26,000. It's been great. They've done some stuff for us in the past, and
Good.
All right.
Good.
Any other questions? If not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works for the following elements of the Highway Department: complete dismantling services, demolition and disposal of the existing steel cold storage building at the Highway Department for a total cost of $20,888. Pair Bondi Builders and Remodeling LLC to replace existing building and supply and install a new building on existing concrete slab for a total of $155,589.28. And Lincoln Door Systems supply and install 2 overhead garage doors and operators in the new cold storage building at the Highway Department for a total cost of $17,769.
So moved.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
folks.
Okay, Irwin House. So we'll take that money and put it to this. Good morning.
So I'm here today for the abatement and demolition of the Irwin
That is a
House.
very large pile of paper.
This is a very large contract document that
Oh
goes
my
along
Lord.
with the abatement of a building and properly disposing of it.
Yeah, yep.
So it's been determined that the Irwin House and garage would be demolished in May of this year. An 8/24 review was conducted and approved by P&Z to demolish the structures. The work performed under this contract will abate and remove all the structures. The building's footprint will be filled, regraded, and left as kind of a blank slate for any sort of landscaping improvements that are determined there. The Department of Public Works conducted a formal bid process and received 2 sealed bid proposals. The base bid breakdown before town allowances was Stanford Wrecking Company, came in at $541,700. Complete dismantling service came in at $563,498. So after we add the town allowances for the known unknowns, one is for the subgrade asbestos pipe and elbows that was identified in the Fuss and O'Neill report, but couldn't be quantified because it's underground. That's $55,000. The other is for contaminated soils. Hopefully we don't run into many of them. But there's an underground storage tank and 2 propane tanks and just, anything that leached off the building over the last, 100 years.
When do they do that testing, Joe?
So they would just test, if anything has to go off-site, we would test it and get a profile of the materials before it went off-site.
Okay.
And then we'd have to see where it could be disposed of.
Are these allowances, are they kind of high-end allowances, like, worst case scenario type of?
So
I mean, I know it's hard because it's on.
Yeah, so for the first one, they Fuss and O'Neill took a stab at an estimate, and they said to basically account for, I believe it was 1,000 linear feet of pipe underground, and we got prices that came in so that it was about $52,000 for that. Whether we find that or more is, really. Will be
So it's kind
determined
of
once
a
we start to excavate.
medium estimate, It's like,
Yeah, I think that one's a medium estimate. And the other allowances for contaminated soil, it's $50,000. I think, unfortunately, when you run into it, it's expensive, and if you don't run into it, I could give it all back.
yeah, okay.
So if you add those together, the contract would be for $646,700, and the contract contingency, we're asking for $65,000 for an overall contract value of $711,700. That would be the request for the PO. So hopefully we don't run into the any unforeseen conditions, and there is a couple allowances. So I'd be hopeful that I don't expend any of the any of the contingency, and it's given back. But given the fact that they're going to have $1 million machine ripping down this building, it's very expensive to stop, right? Like if you're like, hold on, we found something, I need to get approvals for, it takes a couple weeks to get approvals, then you don't want to pay for that machine for 2 weeks. Trust me, it's very expensive. So I'm asking, I think the contingency is appropriate.
Oh, so the contingency is basically reflecting if you get stalled and taking it down for the
Well, that's one of
testing.
the,
I
that's
was just
just
trying to.
one of the biggest
I'm
risks.
channeling my inner Deanna in terms of the 10% contingency here. So, yeah, so, I mean, we already have basic contingencies for the asbestos and the contaminated soils. This is an additional contingency.
Well, you have an allowance, and so the allowance is for
Right.
the
Contingency
known
allowance, whatever you
unknowns,
wanna call
right? And then in the contingency is for unforeseen conditions. And the biggest, and I know you guys are very conscious about what you give for contingency. I just wanted to say it for this particular project, it's definitely warranted to have the contingency because Standard Demolition Service is they have like I said, $1 million machine. It's it could be $6,000 to $7,000 a day for it to be sitting there. So you don't want it to be sitting there idle. And
So
they will ask to be
what would
paid.
cause it to be sitting there idle if you found something, you had tested, so you had to wait? I mean, I'm just trying to understand. Why would it sit there idle?
It would sit there if we found something and it was and we delayed them by not being able to authorize them to proceed.
Yeah.
Joe, how big, so that it's a big hole that this house sits in. So do they have to dig any more of that hole to test, or is it just basically what's left in that hole once all the walls come out?
It's basically what's left plus about a 5 foot
Around.
a 5 foot around. They won't dig deep, but it's usually limited to the first couple
They'll
feet of
test and
soil.
then-
So
and then
we
test
don't
and
we don't
then-
go chasing it
Yeah. so
unless
test
we
and then
find
fill.
something
So
that we need to
you've
chase.
got 15,000 in here for a clean fill allowance. It seems for the size of that hole, that doesn't seem like that's a small amount of money. I mean, is that enough to fill that hole all the way back up? And are we talking about when this is done, are we seated on top and done, or this is?
Well, we were leaving it at a blank slate. So what we did at the Audubon houses, they determined that, well, while we were doing it, they were like, just seed it because we don't have a plan.
Yeah.
So whether I bring in topsoil or fill doesn't really make much of a difference.
Do we
in the
own
project.
fill at somewhere in town where we've taken it out, where we can?
We
use
do.
it? Okay, good.
We do, and there's a possibility we can supplement it. We'll just have to have it tested to make sure. We just want to make sure that we bring in
Clean
fill that is appropriate for a park and future garden or whatever it may be.
So it will be knocked down and then smooth and then seeded, right?
Yes.
Does it sink? I mean, do you have to kind of like, how when sometimes you do the roads, you have to kind of like
Yeah.
wait a year?
Definitely don't want to sink all.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's.
I mean, do you
have
tap
to,
it
you have
down?
to fill it in lifts and you have to compact it.
Mhm.
And we're not going to put a foundation. We're not going to put anything rigid on it. So if it settles, like I think a lot of people, when you put in a pool, a lot of people even wait for like a year because they know there's going to be a certain amount of settlement. So before you put in any hardscape, so you do something similar here. But I don't think there's no risk of having a sinkhole.
What's the timing on this?
So I have to give approval, then there's a 10-day waiting period for the asbestos abatement to notify the department to notify DEEP. And then so overall schedule, we're hoping to be done right in the first week of December.
And have you talked to Scott about the historic district or the historic building, whatever?
Scott Becker.
So that will be triggered when we submit the contract, the permit application.
Okay.
We submit the permit application and then someone has the right to.
Okay, so we have to wait. So it's not just Scott's department, it has to be a public waiting period.
There's a small public waiting period, yes. I believe it's 10 days.
Yeah, one thing I would request on this one, because there are so many allowances and contingent, I would, when it does get down, it'd be great if you came back to us and let us know.
Sure.
You know, because, you know, we have stuff in the budget and it's kind of like the cold storage building. It's like, wow, this is a positive delta. I would, it'd be, hopefully it's positive, because I guess you'd have to come back to us if it was more.
Well, and I think it's important to talk about where the money is coming from, because it isn't in this budget, it's coming from the Waveney House stuff. So let's actually talk about that quickly, just so people know that budget is being reduced because we didn't spend as much.
Yeah, so there was we came in over budget on, the bid came in over budget.
Yeah.
So there was a request for a transfer. The request for the transfer was,
And that was approved by the Board of Finance last Tuesday.
was basically $414,000 was transferred.
1390 to 220.
Was transferred into this project. And it was from the Waveney's first phase came in well under budget. So there was $1.7 million available in the first phase. And the second phase, we already have pricing on, and that one came in under budget as well. So it'll still be a 2-year Waveney project, and there's still adequate funds that have been projected. So this was available, and the most appropriate was, the fastest way to do it was to transfer it.
Right. Any other questions?
Yeah.
All right, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a contract with Stanford Wrecking Company in the amount of $646,700 plus a contingency of $65,000 for a total cost of $711,700. The project entails the abatement and demolition of the Irwin House and garage.
So moved.
Thank you.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
All right, Pine Street.
All right. So this is actually a milestone in the fact that this is the last road to be paved in town since we started our pavement management program in 2004. So we're pretty much right on schedule. If gas hadn't come in and we hadn't had delays waiting for developers on Pine Street, we would have been done last year before. So we would have been underneath the 20 years. Right now, we're right at 2021. So we went out to bid. We publicly bid this job and sent it directly to 6 contractors. We received 2 bids back from FGB and Burns Construction. And this is for the milling and paving of Pine Street in its entirety, from Park Street to Grove Street, and inclusive of some additional granite curbing and brick sidewalks. About half the road's already been done by private developers or the town. We did the first part on the left-hand side where the old post office was. And then the next building was done by the developer or the owner at that point, which is a fitness area, which used to be a dry cleaner. And then Walgreens took over and did their portion. Zoombox did the portion down by the coffee shop, and then a section in the middle was done as well. So it's a little bit of mishmash between either the town or us, and between whether or not it's asphalt, concrete, or brick. And the thought is to then finish all the granite curbing and then install brick sidewalks throughout.
That's will be on both sides. Brick on both sides.
Brick, yeah. When we came with the original plan for brick sidewalks back in, I want to say it was like 2013 or so, this was envisioned as part of it. That was the reason why P&Z actually asked the developers to start putting in theirs throughout to help offset the cost. So the overall bid is $479,992.75. I added a 10% contingency of $48,000. I rounded up, Steve, sorry, but I rounded up by a couple of pennies. And then that makes a total of $527,992.75, and our funds are available in the payment management program. I had estimated this job at $500,000, so I like to be second. So they're well within the number of where we are. They're going to start. The goal is to be done by the end of the season. So I like to be done by Thanksgiving. This will be about a month or more of work, predominantly on the sidewalks, but it'll be sporadic, meaning they'll do a piece and continue on down the way. So the overall disturbance to the street will be small, in the fact that you can do pieces of it in front of a building and then continue to walk our way along the street and then come in and repave and mill it all in one shot. Once we have all the curbing in, we can do the sidewalks after. But once we get all the curbing in, then we'll have the curb line set and then we can get the pavement grade set and we can come in and pave it and have the paving done while they're finishing the sidewalk. So it's really curbing, then paving and then sidewalks. So
Terry, what about lighting and lampposts along there?
we tried, so we had this designed, we had a Cabezas DeAngelis come in and do a streetscape design for us, and we just couldn't fit it. The right of way is very constrained, so the lampposts would actually be on private property. We were trying to add some trees, add some lampposts, but the right of way, given what it is, was very, very constrained. So it got down to the point where we couldn't fit it. We couldn't, without going onto private property and then having to ask for an easement on every single property and what have you. We just decided that at this point in time, we'll just stay with the way it is. So we just unfortunately couldn't fit it because of the fact that you have parking on both sides and then the 2 lanes of traffic, and then you're trying to fit the sidewalk on either side. We, the right of way just, we're literally right up against the back of the right of way.
It's just that you get to those dark evenings and it's that area down there has become so busy, and it would be so nice to be able to have that walkable, with lighting there. But
some of the businesses have already installed the decorative lampposts, just not throughout the entire duration. We couldn't fit it. We can certainly go back to as each property gets developed, we can look to the property to try to help at that point in time and fill in the gaps. We've had others do that in other areas, but it is, it was unfortunate. But to then put the lamppost inside the sidewalk then became constrained on the fact that we couldn't get someone past it. Yeah. The accessibility became an issue. So we deferred at that point.
Yeah, because once it's complete, it's going to look beautiful. It just would have been nice to have that one extra little.
Yeah,
step.
we just didn't have the room, unfortunately.
Okay. As far as, so there's no conduit or anything that we need to lay while we're
Won't be
there.
anything.
Or, yeah,
No,
okay.
no, anything that was going to be installed from a lighting perspective would be behind the sidewalk itself.
All right. Okay.
All right.
So in the next thing, we're going to talk about material purchases, but so to get it kind of all done, it'll be the 527 and then some of the additional expenses with the materials from the below,
The next
right?
two purchases, the next 2 items on the agenda, that's correct. So yeah, when we get to item number 19, the bricks themselves, the Homer C. Godfrey purchase at 18,756.68, that is all for here, for this, and then the granite is split.
Wait, so I'm sorry. So can you restate that? The 18,756 is actually part of the five?
She's asking for the all-in cost.
Okay, so you have to add it on top of that.
On top of it, that's correct. So you would be the 527,992 plus the 18,756 plus approximately $27,000-$30,000 worth of granite.
Okay.
So you're about 575 with contingency.
Mm-hmm.
So you take the contingency off, you're about 5.25.
And what was the original budget on this project?
I had 500 overall, but without materials. So I had construction and then the materials were on top of it. So we're well within where we were.
Any crosswalks, Tiger? So you've got the one at Grove and
We're
Pond.
planning any mid-block crosswalks. No, we just have the one at Grove and we have the one at Park.
Yeah, because that's a long stretch.
It is a long stretch. It's just where is everyone? Yeah, where's everyone going?
With all those cars, I don't think you want to be encouraging people to cross there. It's just like there's cars blocking and you're gonna
But they do.
They do, but
They're gonna encourage it. I hear you.
I'm not gonna encourage that. That's a horrible place to park, to cross.
You don't have a generator where you would say, oh, everyone's coming to this.
Right.
Right.
So for downtown, we have the Playhouse, and at that time with Dunkin' Donuts was, across the street, right? Now you got Dolce, what have you, or the bank. So it's kind of 50-yard line. That was very apparent at that time for that mid-block. Here, there's, you have to pick.
And most of them have their own parking.
Yeah, no, I get
most
it,
of those buildings. I would not, that one, that's a dicey area.
Interesting, the crosswalks on either the far ends. Do we have crosswalks at both ends of it?
Both
or
ends
none
we
of-
do. Yeah, so
okay,
there's
so
one across at Grove Street and there's one across at Park Street. That's
Okay.
correct.
dangerous though, because people come around that corner. It's kind of a blind turn there. Is that right in the middle of that? I can't remember exactly where that is.
It's right at the stop sign.
Yeah,
So
right at the stop.
it's right, it's located at the stop sign.
Because you're coming over the tracks there and then you make the quick left and
Mhm. We have advanced signage and we'll take a look again. We're not proposing any bump outs at that point, that area to shorten the crossing distance.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't gotten a complaint from anybody.
No, that's
until
fine,
just
that's fine.
now. The,
That's just a busy, that's a
Until
busy
just now.
spot. It's a busy
A lot of
spot.
coffee buying
sorry.
there.
That's a busy spot. Well,
It
Doug,
is, that
Doug has
whole
a,
street.
he's got a good
That
business.
whole
going
street is super busy.
On a, on a,
Lot of
on a,
vibrancy.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a contract with FGB Construction in the amount of $479,992.75 plus a contingency of $48,000 for a total cost of $527,992.75. The project entails the milling, reclaiming, and repaving on Pine Street from Grove to Park Street.
So moved.
It's unanimous.
thank you.
And
These next two items are part and parcel to that. So we, for the brick purchase, we went out to Homer C. Godfrey and Paramount Stone for pricing. You can see Homer C. Godfrey came in at 0.996 per brick and Paramount Stone came in at $1.02. So we went with Homer C. Godfrey at 0.996 each for a price of $18,256.68. We added a contingency of 500, but that's mainly just for shipping cost. If something changes there, for a total of 18,756.68, and the funds are available. And Amy, to your point, these bricks are all slated for. This was an order for Pine Street itself for the square footage that we would be putting in. It's a purchase of approximately 18,000 bricks. And then for the granite, I went out to 3 companies, William Stone, Swenson, and North Carolina, but North Carolina and Swenson are combined. There's been a lot of movement in granite curbing right now. They're buying up smaller quarries. So William Stone just bought up 3 other small quarries. So they're starting to be consolidated. And even the Swenson is underneath the Polycork group, which is a group of materials that they sell, that Polycork sells themselves. So I went out for pricing from them, and we came in there for a total of $38,756. Again, I added $500 contingency for a total of $39,267. The pricing was good. The materials were available, so I added 1 extra truck to the purchase. The actual for Pine Street itself was $29,000, and then the the extra $10,000 for was an additional truck material. Given the pricing was good, they had the material available, and we were at the point where I didn't have anything left in storage.
Yeah, so this is basically just stocking up for the
Yeah, stocking up for other projects that we have queued up.
any other questions? If I can get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into the following contracts related to the Pine Street paving work project. Homer C. Godfrey, $18,756.68 for brick purchases, and William Stone, $39,267 for granite purchase. The granite to be used for other projects as well. Both include a $500 contingency.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. All right, here we go.
One is the ADA ramp and stairs and dumpster enclosure at the Playhouse lot adjacent to the Playhouse. It should be noted that it's the reason saying Playhouse is only for location stasis for everyone knows where it is. It's not really conducive of the Playhouse. It's the Playhouse lot itself has no connectivity to Elm Street from an accessibility standpoint. So this will give us some accessible parking spaces, and then the ramping and the redo of the staircase down. And with that, we've got to move the dumpster across the way into the embankment between the Park Street lot and the Playhouse lot. So we had originally gone out to bid for this.
Does this include the moving of the dumpsters
Yes,
into
it
the
does.
into
Yeah,
the
it's
embankment?
all in one
And then you
shot.
didn't mention the loading zone. Does this include the loading zone?
Includes everything that we had that whole plan. It's the whole
I just
plan.
want everybody to know this also includes the loading zone, not just the ramp.
That's correct. So so they're building the where the ramp goes, there'll be 2 accessible parking spaces next to it, and then a loading zone curving around in the front of it, where then we can have trucks, albeit not necessarily a tractor trailer, but everything up to that point, a little bit smaller than a tractor trailer could come up to that spot, and then utilize the ramp to service the business.
For deliveries. For
Start
deliveries.
kicking people off of Elm Street up to the lot up top. So we did go out to bid for this publicly, and I sent it to 16 separate contractors.
Wow.
We had a walkthrough. I had 3 contractors come to the walkthrough, and then nobody took the nobody came and bid, unfortunately. So we went back out to three contractors, Turner, Burns, and Peter Lonnie Incorporated, and two out of those three gave us pricing. So Burns came in at the low at $738,895. I added a contingency of $74,000 for a total of $812,895. The funds are available in our DPW capital accounts. The contractor, the main contractor for this, the subcontractor, the Burns, is the mason contractor, so the concrete, and he's hungry and wants to start like bring the contract to Deanna this afternoon and start work. So that's the goal, is to come out here, and he feels that he can. It's a tight time frame, but the goal is to be done before Thanksgiving.
How comfortable are you with the bid since it's half the next bid?
I'm comfortable with Burns and the person that gave me that number. Yeah, because we looked at that.
That's just a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I think that the other was built in a lot of contingency on their side, a lot of allowances for what might happen, because they're very concerned on those type of issues. So I think that they built in a lot of safety for themselves, and then their oversight itself.
Is it like too small a job for Turner? Kind of.
They were looking at it doing with their in-house staff, and their in-house stuff I think is a little expensive too. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not, for them, we'd look at something $5 million and above, not $1 million and under.
Right.
Yeah. So the only thing with this is that there will be a closure of that ramp or the sidewalk, the alley between the Playhouse and Lepenka to the end for a time frame. Talk to the contractor about getting that work done quickly, and then walking himself out of the area. But we'll be asking patrons to utilize the other staircase that goes down past White Buffalo through the Franco property during a portion of it, where he'll come in. He's going to move the dumpster immediately to give himself some lay down area and some workspace. Then he's going to start by Elm Street and work his way through the alley so that we can open up the doors to the Playhouse for people coming out of the theater, and then work our way up into the ramp and then the staircase itself, and then do that. But when he's doing the ramp and the staircase, there's literally no way logistically I can have that staircase open, since the forms for the ramp will be into half of the staircase aside, and we'll be taking the staircase out. So there'll be some disturbance during that time, but the goal is to then get in and get out before the silly season, before Thanksgiving. And then the holiday season will be wide open for everyone.
That's why this parking change is, I'm scratching my head here. We're doing two major things at the same time. So we definitely don't want to get people up in arms about, hey, listen, you're making me walk, but now you've taken away my way to walk. So I think
that's up
really
at the Playhouse is not where there's free parking. That will never have free parking.
No, but people
That's not the free lot.
But people will walk from the bigger lot down through that area, because if they're accessing the other side
Most
of town.
people, I would tell you, with the Playhouse lot, come down the stairs by White Buffalo, because that's closer. That is the most direct.
From the Park
That
Street
is
lot,
from the Park
they go
Street
down
lot. The
they go down
most
White Buffalo
direct
staircase.
walking is down that staircase. So it is the Playhouse lot that's going to be disrupted. Because but that's still, that will always remain paid parking. So that's not free parking. So we're not giving them free parking in the stuff that's getting disrupted.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we can communicate to people, this is all these improvements are the goal of having a smoother parking situation and less double parked trucks on Elm Street and stuff. So people would just kind of realize you got to crack some eggs to make an omelet, and that be a little bit patient in this.
People don't know that there's parking behind the Playhouse. Or in those lots, they just think that if they're going to Elm Street, they can only park on Elm Street or South Avenue. They don't realize that there's entire lots behind them.
Well, and as part of this, just so everybody knows, there is a meeting with merchants that's going to happen at the end of this month. There has been a map that's created that will be once we have the machines in place and we have better visibility into timing that we can actually roll all this stuff out. I will put out another, in just a parking related newsletter out to the public with the map, with a discussion of everything that's happening, so that everybody understands, or at least everyone that's signed up for the newsletter understands that where we are, because we know, and we're going to be patient with people for a period of time, that this is difficult. So we understand, but this change is always hard.
Yeah, and the physical map, I think, will be super helpful.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
a great
that-
map. I
yeah.
have to tell you, I
Cool
mean,
looking, yeah.
it's all done.
Great.
Yeah.
Tiger, you don't have any kind of sketch as far as what this final thing looks like though, right? Do you have it?
Oh, yeah, there's an entire
there?
plant set associated with it.
Be nice to see that, because that's something that, as you do a project like this, it'd be nice to get that out and circulate it in the public as well. So I don't know how we do that, but
Well, maybe we can convert that to a PDF. Is there a way to
Oh, is it
convert it?
already in a
So maybe we
PDF?
can put that in the newsletter.
well, yeah,
too.
we'll get it to Mike Dinan and get
Yeah.
it out there so
Yeah.
people can see
Yeah.
it.
I have my own newsletter.
I know you do.
Put it in, can we add it to the minutes here? Pop it in here as well, so it's like a
Sure.
record.
I'll send you
Yeah.
the whole plant set, and then we can also make a copy of it and put it under glass and put it up on the.
Yeah, that'd be
you know,
great. That'd be
Put
great.
it in the area in front of the playhouse so people see
Oh.
what's gonna happen. Similar to what we did for Bristow. So Bristow or the Jenny and Meadow, we actually showed so if you actually walked past.
It's a
you can
great
see
idea.
it.
Maybe some of the merchants would put it in. You
Yeah,
know,
we can.
because
we
then
can-
it's part, it's helping.
Well, we'll
their-
bring it, we'll bring it to that meeting on the 25th. So people,
Yeah, give them, ask them to put it up.
So when the truck, like a truck comes in there to deliver, the ramp itself would be, you're gonna roll, say, a hand truck down. Is it gonna be like a sweeping ramp that goes right, left, or?
It's basically, you come down, turn, so it'll be in essence, 180-degree turn, and then a 90-degree turn to come down the by where the stairs are existing. So it's accessible, meaning so that you come down, you've got a 5-foot turning radius to make the turn, 5-foot turning radius to make the turn, then come down, another 5-foot turning to come down. So if you're in a wheelchair, you can make it. If you're in a stroller, you can make it. Or if he's got a hand truck of goods, he'll be able to make it.
Yeah.
No, the grades are all compliant. That's one of the reasons why we needed the switchback. It's 'cause we needed additional distance to have it travel. We had originally.
Stairs there as well?
There'll be a set
So
of
we
stairs.
basically split the space. Okay.
Exactly. So where that railing is, half of that's going to be a ramp now, half it's going to be stairs.
Got it.
Yeah, getting a picture would really help.
Yeah.
Would really help.
Can do that.
All right.
Excellent.
all right. Any other questions?
Nope.
If not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a contract with Burns Construction in the amount of $738,895 plus a contingency of $74,000 for a total cost of $812,895. The project entails the construction of a new ADA compliant accessible route from the Playhouse parking lot to Elm Street on the east side of the Playhouse, along with the installation of a dumpster enclosure along the embankment between parking lots.
So moved.
Second.
Unanimous.
Thanks.
And I just wanted to say, because it was just this weekend, I was walking into downtown through that area, and those dumpsters are a mess, and it's horrible looking. I'm seeing an elderly person with a cane trying to navigate through that area, and I literally had to stop the person and say, can I help you? I really don't feel comfortable with you walking through this area. And it's like, no, I'm okay, but I was not comfortable.
It is a little mess back there. It'll be nice to get it cleaned up.
Yes, it is. It's horrible. So
Long time coming.
it needs to be cleaned up. So
Good. Great.
all right. Thank you. All right, decorative crosswalks.
Good morning. As part of the continued administration of the town's pavement management and improvement program, the Department of Public Works is proposing the installation of 6 decorative crosswalks in the Elm Street Business District. That's the Main Street to Park Street area, to replace the decorative installations that were in place prior to the repaving of Elm Street. The proposed decorative crosswalks will be an 8-foot wide durable thermoplastic impressed surface system called Traffic Patterns XD by Innis Flint. The thermoplastic surface will be heat stamped at each crosswalk, embedding it into the pavement, similar to the installation that was done at the library. Once the impressed surface system installation is complete, retroreflective lines will be striped on either side of the crosswalk installations. Rocco Iodrolo Company is one of the 2 certified installers for Traffic Patterns XD in the state, and they perform 95 to 98% of all the installations. Rocco will perform the installation of 6 Pattern XD thermoplastic crosswalk systems for a combined fee of $42,064, with a 10% contingency of $4,200 for a project total of $46,264. We recommend that the contract be awarded to Rocco for $46,264. The funds are currently available in the pavement management and improvement plan. And right now, his schedule is such that if we do give him a go-ahead, he could start as early as next week and they anticipate 2 to 4 days of construction. He has quite a queue after that. So if we don't get him started next week, it would probably be a little over a month before we could get him back. But he says that the installation is, especially with this temperate weather, once it's in, it just takes about 20 minutes to set and then it can be drivable. So there's 2 options that we can look at. We can either have him work on half of the street at a time and keep 1 lane of traffic open. It'll just take a little bit longer for all the installations. Or we could close off the area to vehicular traffic for 2 days and have him be able to have full access to the full width of the
Price the
crosswalk.
same?
Price is the same.
Priceless.
Well, that was interesting. Okay.
Cost is based on square footage
Okay.
of the installation of the actual thermoplastic material.
Does he handle all the traffic control and everything?
Traffic control beyond
Not
us.
us.
On us, okay.
Yeah, so we'll hire a couple of officers to help us at the time, depending. So we have a couple of different, to Maria's point, we have a couple of different ways that we could skin that cat. We could stop traffic between Main Street, South Avenue.
Right.
Let everybody come in Morse Court, flow up that way, and then no one can be on the lower section. They go to the upper section or go half and half.
How did we
I
do
don't
it?
think
How did we
half
do it
and
last
half
time?
great.
Remember?
Last time we
Because
did
of
half and
pedestrian.
half. So we actually let half the street fly and then half the street come in, and then we did the other side. So that would be the better alternative is to just.
Oh, you
have
think
one
half
go
and
up.
half? I'm thinking close half of it and then close the other half.
When did they do it? What times? What, when? No, but so are we talking 7 a.m. to 3? I mean, I'm just trying, and like, when is it closed? Is it a whole day?
His typical work is like 7 to 3, 7 to 4.
Right, so it's not gonna affect the restaurants or anything like that because,
Be open to traffic at night.
Well, it'll affect lunch, but
yeah, the
we have a
nighttime.
big lunch. We have a big lunch crowd, but you can park and walk.
Pedestrians still will have full
Full
access.
access.
Right, it's just the parking.
Right.
The advantage of letting traffic keep going, I mean, first of all, everyone's used to changing lanes on Elm Street to begin with. So I mean, that's many, many times during the day, it's a 1-lane street anyway. So
Mhm.
it's,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
you're not really losing much
Okay.
by just closing off 1 lane to keep the traffic going.
As long as it
But-
looks good when it's in, I was
Yeah.
where you're doing it half and then you gotta patch it in, but it'll look like they put it down in one strip.
2 feet by 2 feet thermoplastic sheets that
just-
they put
yeah.
down. And with the heating of them, with the brick pattern, it all blends together. So he's not concerned about that.
They're
it's a
good.
couple
I mean, I made a
installations.
point of driving by the library when I was coming over here today. They're very attractive. And boy, quick.
Can
to
you,
put
can you
in there.
spend a minute, because we got a letter from a resident about the reflective nature of those lines? I mean, when you're driving down the street, you can see the crosswalks pretty well because they're reflective. Is it reflective paint or are they the raised reflective?
Reflective paint with,
Paint.
it has glass beads in it.
Yeah, okay.
So the glass beads, so they put the epoxy paint down, the stripe down,
Yeah.
then they place glass beads over the top of it. The glass beads then adhere to the paint itself, and that gives you your retro reflectivity, where when light strikes, it'll come back to the eye of the driver.
Yep.
So the
And that would be on either side of the decorative portion, the thermoplastic portion. The thermoplastic does not have.
No,
the-
no, no. You just need some sort of reflective. Yeah.
And does it wear off over time? Do you have to redo the reflective?
The retroreflective paint the epoxy paint lasts 3 to 5 years. So it's like a standard crosswalk where we stripe those every 3 to 5 years.
Mhm.
We are on a plan to restripe all of our roads every 5 years. So when we crack seal, we stripe, then we overlay, we stripe, crack seal again, we stripe, we pave, we stripe. So every 5 years, and all the markings that we have are striped at least once every 5 years. And then in higher use areas, like say for our school
Yeah.
district, right? So all the crosswalks along South Avenue, those are done at a better,
More
quicker
frequent.
rate.
Yeah,
more
and
often.
I probably would add the Elm Street corridor into the more frequent if you can.
Yes, that's correct. It all depends upon at that time what we see, but so for lesser used areas, crosswalks in lesser used areas, we would do it every 5 years, but in the higher use areas, we try to go about every 3.
Yeah. So the reflective needs maintenance, but the pressed brick, that's good to go, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, if you went to the library, you would have seen 2 white lines on
Yeah, I
either
did.
side of it.
Yeah.
That's the retroreflective, striping. Those are transverse lines that actually delineate the crosswalk.
Got it.
So.
Thank you.
All right.
That's terrific.
Any other questions?
No, I mean, just resolving the question about how.
Yeah, well, it sounds like
Yeah.
everybody wanted half and half.
Half and half. So it's
I didn't feel
Does
like.
does that, you said, does it delay it at all? It's like it
Sure.
takes
Yes.
longer, yeah.
Absolutely.
Get
So what
in
is-
before
how
they
much
get the
longer?
other
Is it
jobs.
2 days?
Yeah.
It's 2 days with half and, sorry,
I mean, he gives a range,
but
obviously. but
two
he
to
said
3 days if you block traffic, it's how many with half and half?
He'd have to have at least another full day
Yeah.
for,
Because
So
he
it's
has to
probably
keep
4
setting up,
days
right? So
or-
it's one thing to just walk across the crosswalk and continue to do it. Because basically what they do is they walk on it and they walk across it. If we have it blocked off, he just works his way through. If not, and then that's 6 setups. We'll have, if we go half and half, we're at 12.
We'll
Or
have
12
more
setups,
security, because
right.
I'm actually, my concern is that's a super busy area and for safety of the workers and everybody else, you're gonna have to have more security and safety for traffic management. So they're gonna have and that's not in this,
No,
we're
it's
gonna
not.
have, whereas if you close it off,
Yeah.
you know,
It's always the rip the Band-Aid off and
Yeah.
cause a lot of disruption and inconvenience by closing.
well, you're only
the street,
closing,
right?
my thing is you're only closing Main
Half the street.
to south. So that section is closed for a day or 2, right?
Likely, like if we did it that way, likely a day for just.
So
maintenance.
one day that section, and then you close the other section so people can go.
so that intersection, Joe, just to keep in
Right,
mind,
right,
has
right,
3 crosswalk installations at Main and
Oh,
South.
so you'd have to close it like by mobile or something? Where would you close it?
So we'd close it at Morse Court. So we would allow people to come in and out.
So they could
there.
go through Morse Court. They would go through Morse Court for a day. So you'd stop them like right to the north side of the entrance of Morse Court.
Yeah, so Upper Elm, if we did it that way, Upper Elm Street would be closed for at least a day to
So
try to
for
do-
one
that's
day.
For one day, because at
But
least
the
a day.
traffic could flow up south through the parking lot and then down and around and come,
That's correct. Or it could come up Elm Street and turn left onto South Avenue, just that lower stretch would be
Yeah.
open. So for one day, you would have the lower stretch. If we closed it from Main to South Avenue, we could get 2 crosswalks done at that time, because that's the only 2 that are there. So you get the one at Main, and then the one that's on the eastern side of that South Avenue crosswalk. Then the remaining 4 would have to be the next day or that afternoon and then the next day. If you close it to traffic, if you left it open to traffic, then it would be, we get half a traffic in. Or we could do a combination where we close the lower end of Main Street just to get those 2 in, and then open up traffic to half, and then work the other 4 on a half and half basis.
Because if you open that up, when
Yeah.
you get down to that point, you're gonna have to go around,
Yeah.
it's not.
So
it's not gonna be-
maybe that is better. Do the first half closing it.
Yeah.
And then the second half you do we do half and half.
Because there's 3 now.
We could even get that 3rd crosswalk in that's across South Avenue on a closure where Elm Street is wide open and flowing, do that one.
Yeah.
And then we're just the last 3, we'd have to do half and half
Yep.
or close it. I'm more on the side of doing half and half at that point in time,
Okay.
just because I'd rather keep traffic flowing on one side. And
I like that. I like that compromise better. I don't know about you guys.
pretty much open up the rest of it. And the lower Elm Street, at that point, people can park all around it
Right
and
from
walk
south
into it.
anyway,
for a
so
little
it's
bit. So
it's just the main street
Yeah.
that they'll have to go around.
we can talk.
You're still gonna have your trucks and everything going through there, so on a business day, so you've got to be able to get those guys through there.
Mhm.
Yeah, yes, yeah, that's why I'm thinking that it would be better just to do, like I said, to do a closure from Main to South, and then half and half from south to
Okay.
Park Street. And then-
Okay.
And then we'll talk to Rocco.
Leave it up
about
to the
that.
experts.
Just a couple of days, everybody.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was anticipated that we'd be, that it would be coming, right? And it's just a question of when do you do it?
Mm.
It's always busy there. It's just, it's never a good time.
Sounds like you almost.
And if you could just let Laura But
I've told
no.
Laura about everything.
when it's
Every single time
coming.
we make a decision, I tell Laura and she shoots it out. But yeah.
Okay,
we'll do
awesome.
that.
It's almost like you want to, when you have the crews out there going, a sign saying, beautification process, you know what I mean? Sometimes it'd be like, thanks for your patience, we're just beautifying, because so people kind of put it in perspective.
Yep.
We always have a sign to say business is open during construction, because that's like the biggest thing, is to let people know that they're still open. But we can look at,
Just, it's only a couple days and it's going to be a great benefit. So
state puts the governor's name on it, or
Right.
federal,
there you go, Deanna, put your name on. There you go.
I want to sign when we're complete, and then the last decorative crosswalk goes, and I want to say this street is closed for construction.
Don't say that.
That's a jinx. It's like a jinx right there. Yeah,
right.
but it would be nice, Steve. It would be very nice to at least be able to rest for about 6 months.
Okay, so if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a contract with Rocco Iadarola company in the amount of $42,064 plus a contingency of $4,200 for a total cost of $46,264. The project entails the installation of decorative crosswalks on Elm Street from Main to Park Streets.
So
That's unanimous.
Thank you.
All right, tree warden.
So this is the next bid for the tree warden. So I just want to let you know that after your comments of the last, where we only had the one bidder, at the time, Bob went back out to each one of the people that's helped serve the town and said,
Wow.
you have to give a minimum of 4 bids a year or else you get taken off of our list. So we said to him, you basically, if you want to be on our list, you got to give us at least 4 bids per the year. And then if not, we're going to take you off the emergency services list and we can, look for other contractors. So this is for 11 separate locations, only one of which is one is at Mead Park at the exit, which is removing a dead white pine and grinding the stump. But since it's a dead white pine in the area, and we've already got, we had some people question that one as far as when is it going to be removed. Just want to say that the majority of the rest of them are just along roadsides. So Darien Tree came in at the low bid at $16,900. Excuse me. They've done fine work for us in the past, and the monies are available, and we'd like to award this to Darien Tree and have them get to work.
All right. If I could get a motion to approve a request from the tree warden to enter into a contract with Darien Tree Service LLC in the amount of $16,900. The project entails the removal, pruning, and stump removal of various trees in town.
So
Second.
It's unanimous. Any general updates or?
Tony, as we're talking about this stuff going through, like what projects are and, our contingencies and stuff, would we be able to maybe like on a quarterly basis these are the projects that got done last quarter. This is what we thought they would come in. This is what we budgeted for. And this is where they came in. So we can kind of track, I just think that would be, because, we go through every one of them when we evaluate them and it's like well thought out, but it would be just great to have the summary. And I think it'll probably show you guys are pretty good in what you're estimating, but just then we know, like, because we always question contingencies and stuff. And then, that can undermine, we do need the contingency, or I just think, would that be hard to do? I'm not talking every month, just every.
Maintaining the list since July of 21.
Yeah.
For every single time something comes in, I'll just have to update that list. And I started a different list for the town council building and the infrastructure committee. Somewhat similar to that.
Yeah.
Meaning all the projects and where we were as far as we bid it, the contingency was that, which, and then what it came in at, the overall percentage use of the contingency and where we are for each fiscal year for the accounts, the capital accounts. So we could certainly do that for you.
Yeah, just like
Quarterly would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, monthly's a lot to ask. I mean, but like quarterly. So where are we now? We're in mid-September. I don't know if it's the first quarter.
We're close to the end of the first quarter, so we could update the list and then start again. Because I did, I haven't updated the list in a little while, so I can do that and then go forward.
Yeah, so maybe some in the October.
Yeah, maybe the first October. Why don't we plan on the first meeting in October?
The first, so that's fine. Yeah, because
Be helpful.
we wanted it anyways. I wanted to track ours to make sure, and then to see exactly what percentage of the contingency, we were how each project rolled, you know.
Yeah,
how
and I'm
we-
sure that informs your estimates for your contingency, so. that would be
Yeah, it
helpful.
also just, you know, it keeps us tight too. So that's important, you know, and then to know, okay, we're, you know, we can be comfortable with a 10% contingency on this project. I'm not comfortable with 10% contingency, that kind of thing. So, you know, it keeps us sharp as well. So that's fine. I can give you that list.
Coming along?
Elevator's been ordered. We're waiting for, you know, be coming in December. They'll start to roll in. Everything's prepared basically for it.
Mhm.
We have some electrical work that we still need to do. But yeah, Glenn will be back in late December, and the goal is to close January to March and put it in. Bathrooms are in. We did a little bit of work on the thresholds and the doorknobs. We're working on those, so converting the doorknobs to levers where needed, and then fixing the thresholds that the DOJ had mentioned. You've already walked over me, probably didn't even notice that they were done, since everyone probably walked between the main room and the breakfast nook already at least once. That was done. Now you can't even tell the difference between the two. So yeah,
And the waterproofing, the Waveney?
proofing's going very well. That eastern side is very, you know, involved. Joe's doing a really nice job there. But yeah, that work is rolling. The contractor's been very cooperative. Talked to John about it. He said he's been very happy with what he's been able to do for us. What?
Who's that again? Capasso.
I think I was talking to Don. I was over there yesterday for another purpose, and you know, he was saying it's going well, and it is. They do have to kind of stage it around all the events, so it gets a little.
Yeah, but he's been very cooperative on that, and the staff at Waving have been very cooperative on the other side, understanding exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And the sidewalks got finished at Lapham, so everything is done over there. We just have a little restriping to do for the accessible route from the parking spaces across. Maria and I'll lay that out this week, and we'll stripe that.
And the carpeting, it's nice. And the carpeting,
Great. Yeah. The
place.
Very.
It's a busy place.
Yeah, Aggie has been doing a great job over there.
The intersection at 123 will start end of this week, so that improvement will be going. That's when we're on River Street. The residents trying to walk across 123 from Brushy Ridge over to Locust. That'll start this week, and then we're starting as of yesterday. Started our last phase of all the paving that's left. So Park Lane, Lakeview Lane, Millport Avenue, Brushy Ridge, Hill Street, River Street. I'm forgetting one road in there. I forgot exactly what it is. There's one road. I'm missing.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, so next item is approval of a request to appoint Ian Rasmussen as an alternate to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a 2-year term ending December 1st, 2025. I had Ian in my office a while back, and he's quite well qualified for this role. So I could get a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. All right, and review of contracts under $10,000. You have any questions? If not,
No,
we can
all
go
good.
on to tax overpayments. And if I could get a motion to approve tax overpayments and refunds.
So moved.
It's unanimous. And then legal fees. And you have any questions? So
Tracking well so far.
only a couple months in, so.
Yep.
All right, if I could get a motion to approve legal fees.
So moved.
It's unanimous. And selectmen comments, my only comment was it was a really nice ceremony. Again, we had, you know, it's kind of almost airy how September 11th seems to always be, you know, sort of a revisit of that same day, 2001, but it was a really nice, it was a beautiful ceremony. So thank you to Chief Bassett for helping to coordinate that, and for, you know, the police and fire and EMS were all out in force that day. So, and we had a few legislators, and it was a nice day. Okay.
It's hard to believe it's going to be 25 years now.
I know, next year.
Wow.
Yep. All right. So moving on to a personnel matter.
Oh, wait, one plug. You got to plug the Lobster Fest.
Oh, yeah, was that unfair?
I have my tickets.
There you go, at beautiful Waveney House this year. Take
Yes.
in or eat in. We'll have bands. And 40th year, we're doing a great job in terms of raising donations and contributions. And it really goes to much needed community support. And I think all these entities are going to need more support this year than next. So please come out. It should be beautiful. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean,
You just go
adding-
online and get it.
Adding the bands,
Okay,
really, that's a
I'm-
big, nice addition.
I'm gonna take a 2-second break
okay.
before this.
So
this
come
one.
on out. And Chris is on.
It's back on. You're live. Okay. All right. So the next item on our agenda is a personnel matter and possible executive session. So we're going to be considering and possibly voting on an unpaid suspension for a town employee, Beth Strobel. So I guess to start, I wanted to ask Beth and the union, do you want this to be an executive session or do you want this to be in public session?
Executive.
Okay, so if I could take a vote to go into executive session,
Second.
it's unanimous. And then the people that will be in executive session will be, we have Chris Hodson online. We have Cheryl Jones from HR. Rob, I don't know your last name. Montori from the union. We have Beth Strobel, we have Ann Kelly Lentz, we have Tucker Murphy, and we have Tracy. I'm like having a blank. Okay, Pizzolatto representing representing the town hall union. So those will be the people that are invited into executive session. So Rob, you are a state union, or he's the state union. So Tracy is the local union and Rob is the state.
Okay, thank you.
So, okay. We did vote. It was unanimous. Okay, so if I could get a motion to go back into regular session.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Okay, so after our executive session discussion, I would like to make a motion to discipline the employee as discussed in executive session, and a letter will be distributed after this meeting to Beth and the union of the board's decision. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.